And a very warm welcome back for our final session here of the 118th running of the New Zealand National Championships for 2020, and I'll explain that shortly. My name is Brent Perry, and beside me I've got Isaac Savage. Of course, we'll be bringing you 13, yes, you heard it right, 13 bouts that are going to be happening this evening here at the stadium at Te Rauparaha Arena in Porirua City, just north of Wellington. And of course, as I say, we've got a mountain of boxing. How'd you enjoy the first session?
Oh, amazing match-up tonight, or this afternoon, but buckle up, strap down. We're getting ready for the best of the best here in New Zealand. That was a fantastic showdown, but as you said, we've got 13 finals here.
And as you can see on your screen at home, you'll be looking at the running down. We start off with the 54 kg, and we work our way all the way up through to the super heavyweights, which are 91 kg. And some great bouts that we had, but we've got to get the ball rolling, get everything underway. So we head down to our ring announcer, the very famous, or about to be very famous, Vinny P.
Official to ringside and boxers ready, please.
Well, we had such a great morning. There is Vinny on our screen at the moment. A magic morning of boxing and a couple of rather solid fights going not the distance.
No, well, you saw that too in the last fight there. It was a devastating knockdown. First one we've seen of the match or of the week. However, we might see a few more tonight.
And I'll let you know that, of course, the boxer, he has come right. No problems at all. The medical attention that he received almost immediately got into the ring. And as you say, with the amateur boxing, safety is number one, and it continues all the way through. So we're going to be joined actually today by Dr. John Mackay. He's going to be joining us as well. And we've got a couple of other little surprises. So let's go back down to Vinny. He'll get the boxers to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the bantamweight women's 54 kilo division. Making her way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Emma Geange.
Emma's just had 5 fights.
Fighting out of the blue corner, making her way to the ring, representing Nelson Boxing Association, Christene Gillespie.
So both these ladies, of course, Christene, looking at, we've got the first match-up with a southpaw up against an orthodox boxer. Both the same weight, of course, they need to be for this division. But Christene Gillespie, she's a 2-time South Island Golden Glove boxer.
Emma Geange, red corner.
As we've seen too early on the fight cards,
blue corner.
Take nothing away from less experience. We have seen an underdog come through. Emma there with the less of experience against Christene. She's got a high calibre, few accolades behind her, but this is all finals. They're going to throw it all out there to win.
And of course, these ladies, they will be fighting 3-minute rounds. So as we go up through the weight grades, these guys will actually start boxing longer. So we're in for a big night here on Sky Sport next as we get everything underway. Referee, and of course, not forgetting Sky Sport 9. Enjoying your company. We had a few people getting in touch with us from all around the country and in fact internationally as well. So thank you for joining us. We look forward to bringing you in a huge evening of boxing from here in Porirua City for the Nationals.
Get ready now as this is a 3-3. Both girls coming in at 54 kilograms. Emma there in the red, Christene in blue. Emma's certainly the taller of the both. She's going to use that reach. Relatively low guard I'm seeing here so far in the fight, but I want to see her hold that a little bit higher. Long looping range shots.
Well, there's a massive height advantage also for Emma. Of course, she is she's a strapping girl.
Love to see that guard a little bit higher there from Emma. Christene's going to come forward now. She's going to be the aggressor. She wants to close that distance. A little bit hard too, though, when you've got the reach from someone like Emma there. Such long, rangey shots. She can pick and move, use those shots, throw it out there to keep Christene at bay.
And as you sort of notice on the on your screen at the moment, there is a big height advantage, of course, with Emma. But of course, if Christene can get in, a little bit slower to the canvas, as they would say, but she's got a get underneath that reach. Try and stay away from that, because she is, as I say, Emma Geange's reach is probably what? I'd say she's got a good 6 to 8 inches on her.
Oh, she's a very tall fighter, and you can see too her arms almost as long as her legs in terms of the reach, and she is thrown out, trying to keep Christene at bay. And we've seen a lot of this over the tournament. An aggressive fighter trying to close that distance. Beautiful guard there, just took it on the guard, didn't do too much. Emma's using her distance well. Beautiful body shot then thrown, but I want to see Christene come in, tighten off, get in the pocket, be a bit more aggressive. She has to against a tall, rangy fighter. Another body shot then landed from Emma. Christene needs to just come forward, be a bit more aggressive as she can. A little bit hard though with the tall, rangy fighter.
Now, one of the things you'll enjoy, well, you may have noticed that we refer to this as the New Zealand Amateur Boxing Championships for 2020. Well, due to the COVID crisis that we all faced worldwide, these championships are having to be held over. So we're actually going to have 2 this year. We're going to have this one, which cleans up last year, and then we go into 2021, which is going to be in Whanganui later in the year.
Blessing and a curse though, come on. 2 national champs in 1 year. We're pretty lucky in that sense, and lucky to be here in New Zealand. And all those watching back home, hope you're enjoying this as we're on Sky Sport 9.
Now, some of these boxers that you'll be seeing this afternoon, as we did this morning, this could be their 2nd or 3rd bout, depending on, of course, how the weight classes have gone. So they've recovered very, very well as we start counting down the first bout, first round. But once you hear that clapper, which is going to come in about 5 seconds flat, you watch the intensity of these boxers starting to really step it up.
Oh, we saw that too in the first round. You know, a bit of a slower start here for the ladies in the finals. However, we might set ramp up in the 2nd round. Great shots there to finish from Christene. If we go to replay too, you're going to see how long and rangy Emma really is in the red. She is so long, she can just keep her at bay, move away, throw shots on the back foot, keeping Christene away. Christene really needs to get underneath that guard, throw some body shots, be a bit more aggressive. Easier said than done, though.
Yeah, well, as I've said all the way through, it takes a very brave person. Hey, just look what's popped up on the screen. That's the Jamison's belt.
Oh, there's a lot of bling on display tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of these boxers, of course, are going to want to get it. And of course, the number of trophies that have all been beautifully cleaned up. Those presentations will be done sort of not tonight, later in, or maybe much later tonight. We won't be televising that. But all of the boxers will receive their medals and certificates at the completion of each one of these rounds, each one of these bouts, I should say.
Once again, for those watching at home, this is a final. Emma there in the red, Christene in the blue. Whoever wins this fight will be New Zealand champ. So I want to see them being a bit more aggressive now, throwing a bit more out there. Christene doing what she can to get in the inside reach there of Emma. So tough, though. I mean, Emma has got an amazing long reach.
Lovely left-hand jab. She managed to pull that through.
Jabbing again, too, there from Emma. Just popping away, keeping Christene at bay. I'd love to see Christene to start parrying those shots, come through, get under. Parry that left jab, be a bit more aggressive. Just as I said that she'd come through now with the right hook, landing on the head there of Emma.
Yeah, well, Christene Gillespie, as I say, is a southpaw, but she's mixing it up. She's quite happy to change things around a little bit. I think because she's got that taller opponent, she's needing to be able to do things just slightly different.
You can see too, though, how an advantage, and a height advantage like Emma's, plays out so well in this fight. I mean, she just steps back, jabs, steps back, throws a 1-2 left hook. Christene is struggling to close that distance, and rightly so, because Emma's such a tall, rangy fighter. Once again, clocking her over the right hand there, moving away. Beautiful work here, though, from Christene as she comes forward now, being a bit more aggressive as we get now into the latter part of the round.
Well, Christene's nickname, of course, is the Mad Hatter. She boxes out of the Dixon Boxing in Nelson. And Emma out of South Auckland, a.k.a. Skippy is referred to.
Not too long to go now, and this is the national champ. Nice right overhand there landed from Emma. Certainly, in my eyes, she is racking up the points in this fight. Beautiful body shot again, landed to the body of Christene.
Yeah, well, as you say, she's trying trying to mitigate. I'm talking, Christine's trying to mitigate what's happening with Emma's reach, because she's just got it over on that. So she's got to get in close, and then when she does, come and make the connection and get out of there real quick, because Emma's range is just that much bigger and longer.
Beautiful unleash there of Christene. And I was just about to say, Christene needs to pull the trigger. I know she's got the ammo, she's got the aggression, she can do it. She just needs to pull the trigger.
Well, she pulled the body shots and then all of a sudden goes straight back up to the head. And she landed about 4 or 5 very quick blows into Emma and then went straight back up into the head. So, it's going to tire her out a little bit. And again, a lovely left hand connecting on Emma Geange's head.
Nice tight guard too there of Christene, but she just needs to come forward, be a bit more aggressive, pull the trigger, because so far Emma is really controlling this fight now with the distance and the range. Beautiful replay here. Christene comes forward now, lands an overhand, goes to the bread basket. Nice left as well.
Yeah, and then another, just turned a cheek and she wore another one.
Such a tall, rangy fighter though. She is doing a great job of keeping the distance, staying away from all the dangerous shots of Christene. Once again, this is for the national title. Someone will walk away the New Zealand champ.
So with Christene Gillespie, of course, coming from Nelson, we've got boxers from as far north as Kerry and further. And
Seconds out, round 3.
Right down south, and you will, as the evening progresses, you'll start to hear some really boisterous stuff coming out of both Christchurch, Wellington, and Wellington. Of course, their supporters are very vocal.
Well, this is the night that everybody comes out. These corporates, the stadium is going to get full, and everyone's watching back home too. It is the weekend. Hope you're tuned in and enjoying the show as we go through to the first final. Emma there in the red, Christene in blue. Emma using that range so well. I just want to see Christene pull the trigger, come through. She's got the aggression, she's got the power. She just needs to bring it a bit further. And as she does that, as I said that, she's just doing that now. Nice left there from Christene coming forward.
Their legs will be starting to feel a little jellified at the moment. Because if you look at the way Emma's standing, she's sort of trying to control the centre. But Christine's keeping her guard up really well. She has to really, because she's going to get tapped away. And she knows that with just on 2 minutes to go in round number 3, it's now or never, make or break.
Rightly said, and she's doing her best to push forward. I mean, that reach is incredible from Emma. She's doing really well to keep her at bay. 1, 2, throw those shots. Christene really struggling, even though she is a southpaw. Struggling to close that distance, but she's getting in the pocket now, being a bit more aggressive, taking it to Emma, taking the fight to her.
Just as we say something, Emma comes back and starts applying a bit of pressure down to the bread basket to Christene Gillespie. You can see her, she's trying to load it up. She's trying to find that opening because of that guard that Christene is actually applying. She's got her hands up nice and high.
The crazy thing too is that Emma is so tall that she can hold her guard that low, but I would like to see a bit higher. I would like to see the tempo raise a little, because Christene is doing all she can to close it, but Emma is just that tall that she just darts and moves, keeps that jab out, playing a really good game right now.
Nice left hand as well, but the second one that she tried to throw just missed at that point.
This is for the title. Someone will emerge a New Zealand champ. Emma really pushing the pace here. She is jabbing out, using that reach. 1, 2, keeping Christene at bay. Christene doing what she can to close the distance, but struggling with the height here of Emma.
Well, we've made a couple of calls that haven't gone our way, really, in relation to some of our decision-making or our lack of it. The judges have got control. We've got 5 judges watching these bouts, and there's been quite a few split decisions coming.
Well, like Lawrence said the other day, you've got to flip a coin at times, and as we go now to the 10-second clapper, we're going to see who throws down, who wants this more, who's going to take it home to win the New Zealand title.
Well, as you say, they've only got 10 seconds, 0 or 0. Both want it, both pushing forward.
Beautiful little shot there from Emma as the round finishes. Christene always driving forward, but found it really difficult to close the distance there on such a tall, rangy fighter.
Yeah, well, Christene Gillespie, to me, I was starting to get the feel that she was the aggressor. She seemed to be coming forward a lot more, mainly because she needed to sort of create these opportunities which weren't coming thick and fast.
Oh, look, it was tough too, you know. I mean, it's all fine and dandy to say, hey, close the distance, get in there, be aggressive. But Emma was so long and rangy.
Glad to have your company with the Sky Sport next, and Channel 9, of course, with Sky Sport. Coming to you from Porirua City at the Te Rapraha Arena, just some 30 minutes out of Wellington City. We'll head down to Vinny for their decision.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision, 4-1 in the blue corner.
Wow, there you have it. Christene was aggressive enough there in the end to close the distance.
Well, I just said,
rack up those points.
It was just, to me, it was like because she was aggressive, she was coming forward.
Represented New Zealand at 2 times World Championships and a bronze medalist at the Nations Cup.
I really thought that Emma had done enough. However, those shots must have been more powerful. That's what the judges saw. They certainly saw that in favour of Christene. And well done. She is the New Zealand national champ at 54 kilograms.
In the bantamweight, and of course we're now stepping up a little bit in weight to 57 kg to the featherweight. And as I say, it's thick, fast and furious here at the boxing for the championships for 2020. We'll head down to our ring announcer, Vinny P, and get our next boxers into the ring.
Boxers ready.
So we have Erin Walsh and Jean Peters. And of course we end up with one orthodox and one southpaw.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the featherweight women's 57 kilo division. Making her way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Erin Walsh. And fighting out of the blue corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Jen Peters.
Of course, both boxers coming out of Auckland.
Your referee is Jack Tutuvanu.
Important to mention though, Erin Walsh, originally from Ireland. I've seen her fight a few times up in Auckland. She certainly brings the heat, and she brings a very wild contingent, crazy Irish crowd.
And Jen Peters, of course, is out of the Cameron Todd Boxing Gym in South Auckland. She won in Samoa back in 2019 in the Tri-Nations tournament. And also winner of the USA Golf Harbour Champs in 2019. So this should be a good matchup.
Watch this though too. Look at Erin. She comes out super aggressive. I was just about to say there will be a different pace about this fight. Watch Erin. She'll come out and she's gonna push the pace. She's super aggressive. She wants to close this early.
A couple of lovely headshots there.
57 kilograms, and what I love about these fighters is they're both the same size, they're both the same weight, height. It's going to be relatively similar in terms of how they get thrown down.
Crowd starting to build up here at the arena. Of course, we've got the hospitality area, so they're starting to arrive thick and fast.
We've got Erin here just coming out wild, throwing those punches and bunches, certainly being the aggressor from the start, but she got clipped as she came in there from Jen Peters. Jen Peters doing well to move on the back foot, throw shots as she steps back. Erin's certainly the aggressor of the two.
And as we've seen earlier in some of the bouts today, you know, sometimes just being the aggressor can give you that extra point that you may be requiring. As the crowd starts warming up and the support from the boxers of each region. If you were here watching earlier in the day, it's quite funny with the Cantabrians sort of coming out and the chanting that they give them support.
Oh, it's always good to see the Cantabrians come out, especially if it's Cantabrian in Auckland, even a Wellingtonian. It always gets a bit competitive in that sense. Actually, just staggered off a little, but they did start hard and fast, so they're starting to feel each other out now. Erin coming forward again, starting to turn on the pressure. Big shots from Erin.
Jen, of course, Golden Gloves 2017 and again in 2020. So her record is 6 wins, 4 losses.
Erin Walsh, out of the Peach Boxing Gym. Very formidable gym. A lot of great fighters. Pampalone, Andre Mikhailovich, David Light, to name a few. Even the Maniac, Jesse Mayo, who fought in Auckland. Really good gym. And they've brought the support here tonight. Both girls tying up. This is for the national title. Erin certainly bringing the heat early on in this first round.
So as I say, the fireworks always seem to, or the intensity doubles up, of course, when they hear that clapper at around 10 seconds out. They're getting close to that now.
Just as you called it, Brenda goes to the 10-second clapper. Who's going to throw down more? Who's going to edge forward for that final display in the last part of the round?
Right on the bell, a little left clip around the ears.
Strong round there from Erin. She boots away the stool, doesn't want to sit down, just wants to stand up. She's ready to go.
I know New Zealand Boxing Association have asked us to say another big, huge thank you to our production team, and the filming that we're actually able to provide you guys, is, our viewers, is absolutely second to none. And I'd just like to say thank you, as we would also like to acknowledge all the support, because the Wellington Boxing Association, they've been the organisers for this event, and we believe they've done an absolutely outstanding job.
You saw two there in the corners, two top trainers, Isaac Peach, Cam Todd, both champion trainers. They're producing champion fighters, and we'll go now into round 2 to see who is going to be the champion of New Zealand for this weight category.
Again, Erin Walsh comes out firing.
Absolutely, guns blazing, stands in the middle, just taking it to Jen Peters. Jen Peters doing well to be composed, step off these shots, but Erin Walsh, such a smothering, blistering pace. Super entertaining, super aggressive. She's definitely ahead on the scorecards.
And scoring quite well, just in that little flurry of punches. And hopefully our mics are picking up the crowd, starting to really get in behind this bout number 2.
Well, speaking of scorecards, I mean, if they are in favour of Erin, they reckon up those as well, because they're certainly supporting her tonight. Could be Peach Boxing, could be Auckland, big shot.
It actually tilted Jen's head back a little bit, so I think they've definitely got the power. Don't underestimate it, because they're ladies. These girls do pack a punch.
Look, both girls are high caliber. I mean, Jen Peters is a 2-time North Island Golden Glove champ, 2019 Golden Gloves, against Elena Peach, who is the wife of Isaac Peach, who's in the corner tonight. Isaac Peach up here too. He is actually up here on the Wednesday on his birthday, so celebrating his birthday in classic style with the boxers. All these fights now moving forward to 3-3s. And again, charging forward. 2 minutes down, 1 minute to go. Certainly bringing the heat in this final here tonight, but well worth it, because someone's going to be crowned champ after this bout tonight. Big shot again from Erin.
So, of course, as we get into the evening, we've got some amazing matchups to be looking forward to, which we'll explain as we get closer to them. But there are some real matches going on at the moment between Erin Walsh and Jen Peters. Still leaning towards Erin at the moment because, again, she's coming forward. And we've found that the judges have sort of tended to lean in towards that when it becomes the split decisions. You know, if you're the more the aggressor.
I'd have to agree with you. I'd have to agree with you there, though, Brett. You know, I've been looking at a few fights throughout this tournament, and based on volume and shots landed, I would have judged it one way. However, the aggressive shots have been in favour of some of these judges here tonight. So, well, over the week, as we go now to the final clapper for round 2. Another good round there from Erin Walsh.
And as we say, a lot of these boxers, this isn't their first time in the ring this week. We've had, I think it was young Jet. Yeah, he'd done 3. So here's the upcoming bouts that are coming through. Troy Garton, Michelle Nuku. Now, that's a fight that we're looking forward to. And the other one that I think is going to be interesting is Cayden Hope. He showed great form this whole week, and I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we've got a mate that we're sort of following at the moment is Ryan Scape. We sort of think that could be up against Emil Richardson.
Real deal.
Oh yeah, Scafey. I mean, he is incredibly experienced.
Banger. I mean, even look at this card. If you know anything about boxing, this is an absolute stacked card. Drone Pampaloon there at the end, and a heavyweight showdown to finish off the card. But the action at hand right now.
We keep saying it being amateur boxing, but these ladies they'll go into the ring and try and knock each other over, but at the end of it, they give themselves a cuddle, go out the back, share a cup of tea.
Erin Walsh there in the red, Jen Peters in the blue.
Yeah, and there's all the famous people walking around as well. You know, you get the heavyweight champ just turns up, sits beside you, and makes you feel very inferior because I'm short.
It's always good to have two-time Commonwealth gold medalist in the commentary box with us, David Naika. Always adding his expert at commentary, inside info.
Oh, and how kind is he? You should have seen what he just did.
What did he
we
do?
might
Give you a
cut away
jab?
at some stage. No, he'd break my jaw. So we're in round 3 with just over 2 and a bit minutes to go in this, and Erin Walsh is doing incredibly well with Jean Peters. They're match for match. I'm still leaning towards Jean. I'm saying that Jean seems to be, again, the aggressor, but I'm not one of the judges, the 5 judges that have got to try and work this one out.
I'm liking what I see here too, and if we're going to, if history repeats itself, we're going to look in favour of Erin. But look, we've still got 2 minutes to go. And it's anybody's game. Big shot there from Erin Walsh. Big enough for Jack to make the count.
So this is the 3 count. So for those who may have just started to tune in, what happens here is they turn around and go, we'll give them the standing 8. If that happens 3 times in a round, then they'll turn around and go, right, that's it, we've had enough, so let's just sort of change it all over. Oh, and a lovely, beautiful Erin Walsh managed to get there again.
Big shots both. Landing, hey, Jack called it again. Good call there from Jack.
There's another count. Now remembering, that's the 2nd.
That is the 2nd in this
2. Round. So she's going to try and finish this off if she can, but I think it's probably given her a slight advantage. So I'm going to take it back.
Loving the aggression here too from Erin Walsh. Good boxer, but super aggressive, closing that distance. Powerful, launches forward with those shots. Just goes to show the training and caliber of her style and peach boxing. Walks forward now. Not too long to go. Is she going to finish this, or is Jen going to hold on? Jack say don't hit to the back of the head, keep it clean. Erin Walsh walking forward. Well, the clapper goes a little bit before the timer on the screen there. But what a showdown that was. What a war. Erin Walsh looking very strong at the end of that round.
Steve Hartley
the ring,
she please.
Took it in there and said, I'm not taking a second step backwards, I'm going to go forward. So as we wait to get the results that's coming through to Our announcer, look who we've been joined by.
None other than two-time Commonwealth gold medalist, national multi-NZ champ, David Naika. Welcome along.
Sorry, David.
There we are.
fault. You know what he did, though?
What did he do?
Makes me feel really good. He actually slunk like this to match our height.
I've got a short torso. It's deceiving. I'm actually quite a
We
short
have
guy.
a decision.
Here we go, down to our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Erin Walsh. Presenting the medals is Steve Hartley. Steve is the president of Boxing New Zealand, a patron of Waitara Boxing Club, and has been a coach for 32 years.
And there's a gentleman who absolutely loves the sport. He's had a lot to do with, of course, arranging.
Another round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for both
us,
fighters.
Sky Sport next to be down here, and of course we were able to watch this on Sky Channel 9. And Steve, we'll be having a chat with him later in the program, of course, as you look at the highlights of this bout between the two ladies.
Look, pretty fair decision there. I mean, Erin Walsh brought the heat from the get-go, closed it off, dropped her, had a couple of, had a couple of standing 8 counts. Enough to take the win there in the end pretty decisively.
Yep, so we'll head down to our ring announcer, and he will get the next two boxers to come forward.
Boxers ready, please.
So they're flying through them, as I say. The
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the lightweight women's 60 kilo division. In the red corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Baylee Macdonald. And in the blue corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Troy Garton.
And of course we've got David joining us up in the commentary
Your
for the one.
referee is
Not
Peter
fighting,
George.
of course, this weekend, but thanks for making some time out and coming up.
Yeah, no worries. Really looking forward to seeing the rest of these finals tonight. And I think this bout here is going to prove to be a banger. Both these girls are really well established in the world of boxing here in New Zealand. And Troy Garton, obviously, one of the more formidable female athletes here in New Zealand. So, yeah, Baylee Macdonald's got a bit of work to do here. But I think she's actually studying a psychology degree at the moment. So that kind of mental aspect may prove to be a deciding factor in this bout.
And you may notice that I'm just having a look down my list. I've just dropped it. Troy Garton, of course, has the NZL emblazoned on her back.
Yeah, she's been at the top of this at the top of her game for quite a while now. So it should be an interesting first round.
Take nothing away from Baylee though. She's 2014 New Zealand national champ, 2014 Golden Glove. But Troy, she's a bit of a Trojan charging forward. I mean, she's had over 50 fights. Like you said, Dave, bit of a tough ask, but let's see how it goes.
So again, these are 3-minute rounds.
Speaking of Troy last week, though, she's talking about how she got one of the bronze medals with a snapped ACL. And I mean, Dave, you know what it's like. You've probably fought through injuries before. Is that mental fortitude or just craziness?
She's incredibly tough. That was I was actually there, and I think I only found out after the fact that she had won a medal that she had totally ruptured her ACL. Our physios had been trying to patch her up the entire 2 weeks of that tournament. So just goes to show you how tough Troy is, and I've seen her myself with my own eyes. Her throw around some girls a lot bigger than herself. So big ask for Baylee, but I know that she's been training hard and that she's got the skills to give Troy some problems.
Well, that's the thing about boxing, even we see football, we see even Richie McCaw, but a ripped or ruptured ACL and still continue on to win a medal.
Yeah, no, it's freaky. It's a freaky feat.
Well, of course, Baylee Macdonald, 2 golden gloves and 3 national championships, and been a New Zealand rep as well. So I'd say reasonably even matched. We keep saying it, I must admit, Isaac, that we keep saying, here we go, who wants it more?
Well, the thing is too, I mean, both these girls, they wouldn't be here if they weren't worth it. Baylee, a great fighter. Troy, an absolute Spartan. And Troy's only been doing this a wee amount of time, and that's just what makes this so much more impressive.
It's looking like it's going to be quite a scrappy bout. Troy obviously uses her strength in the ring as one of her go-tos. So Baylee's going to have to use a bit of finesse just to get around that kind of
the physicality?
Mauling, the physicality.
Sort of on top of?
Yeah, that mauling kind of style that Troy has.
She landed a nice right there.
I think Troy's doing the right thing just by actually disrupting Baylee's flow, Baylee's timing. Just like that, just kind of stalling forwards and not really giving her the space to think, or the time to set up her attacks.
Let's be honest too about the weight cut. I mean, someone said to me earlier, this has probably been one of the hardest nationals because it was just before Christmas. No pabs, no ham, no turkey. I mean, how hard would it be cutting weight over Christmas?
Yeah, I think a lot of our top boxers treat this sport very professionally. So I'd hope that they're not getting too far over the weight limit. But yeah, for some maybe more than others.
Well, I think the young fellow Xavier, who was boxing in the earlier session, who literally resides in Brisbane, flew out to New Zealand. 6th time he's competed here as a Kiwi, but he can't box in the state, or he needs to qualify. So he put himself in the self-quarantine for 2 weeks with his mum. He said he destroyed quite a few, or she told me that he destroyed quite a few pillows of the hotel, so apologies for that. But, did the quarantine thing, the whole 9 yards, and stayed put.
Wow, good man. That's a pretty hard ask for a young man who's a youth boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
It was all worth it though. He got away with the win, and it wasn't actually looking like it was going to go his way early on, but he fought through.
He said the training was a bit difficult in a hotel hallway, but
thanks to Mumsy, holding those pads.
He probably did his push-ups while she sat on the back and read a book.
Speaking of not making it too easy, I mean, look, on paper, Troy is the more experienced of the two, but Baylee's really stepping up tonight. She's not making it easy for this world-class fighter, Troy, but then it just goes to show Baylee's quite world-class as well.
Yeah, I think Baylee just needs to use more than one phase. At the moment, she's getting her first attack off nicely, but Troy's just able to close up the gap as soon as she steps back. I'd like to see Baylee attack first and third as a common term that we use in boxing. You want to attack first and counter that second attack.
Of course, Baylee Macdonald, 22 years of age, born and raised on the east coast of Gisborne. So she said big shout out to all her followers and supporters back home.
I've seen Troy fight a lot before, and she makes it look a little bit easier than what it is tonight. And that just goes to show too, Baylee must be quite difficult. She's shutting off those angles. Troy's not really being able to offload too many combos. You're talking about those phases, David. She's actually trying her best, but Baylee keeps shutting her down.
Yeah, I think this type of boxing really does fit into Troy's game plan. I think Baylee needs to get her attack off and then take an angle and obviously set up the next attack.
So we're heading into the last minute of round number 2 of our third bout on the card tonight. We've got a total of 13 here at the Te Rauparaha Arena in Porirua City, just the northern side of Wellington, the capital. For those who are watching and enjoying this with Sky Sport Next on our international feed, as well as Sky 9, Channel 9.
What I love about this fight too is, unlike the first fight, there's not too much difference in terms of the body, reach or height advantage. They're both the same height, so they both have to work for it.
Yeah, I guess it just means that when one's in range, the other's in range as well, so they have to be very aware of where the danger zone is.
I don't know if you saw that first fight, David, but the reach height advantage was so outrageous that the lady in red just had to move back and just jab, and she could keep that fighter at bay. But it's not like this in this fight.
Yeah, I guess it's just goes to show you the difference in shapes and sizes that you get in boxing. You know, you can be the same weight, but you can be almost twice the height. But it just comes down to being able to use those tools well.
You made it mentioned earlier, David, that the thing is that Troy is actually using her body and putting a lot of pressure on Baylee. She's actually leaning on her, tiring her up as well, and you'll see, you know, that both girls quite happy to get up close and personal, but you'll see that she's just using that physical intimidation, I would think was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, we talked about the physicality, and I think this is just one of Troy's many strengths, is just being able to use her physicality to outmuscle her opponents. And Baylee obviously struggling a little bit on the inside, but I think she just needs to go back to her long-range boxing. It's easier said than done because Troy's obviously doing a lot to stop her from actually doing that. So yeah, going to be an interesting last round, but I think at this stage I'd say Troy's starting to really get into her groove.
Both corners and their trainers giving both the girls, saying, you've got 3 minutes, ladies, this is it.
You want some more. Hey, I'm really impressed though. I mean, I've seen both these ladies fight, and based on what I've seen in the past, Baylee's stepping up. I mean, it's almost like a wounded tiger. When you're under pressure, you fight harder, and Baylee's making it tough for Troy tonight.
Yeah, Baylee's a world class boxer. I think she's probably hasn't had the results that would reflect how good of a boxer she is. So this is a really tough fight for her. But again, this just goes to show you how dominant Troy is at this weight division.
Well, you know, Troy is a Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, 47th in the world, number 1 in New Zealand. She's had over 50 fights, so she's got that calibre, she's had that experience.
Yeah, she just seems to be wanting to come forward as well. She's managed to get a couple of lovely overhand rights coming through. And again, there she starts to show that physical strength of...
Dave, you could comment as well, when you fought or gone overseas and mix it up with some of the Europeans, the Americans, the Mexicans, whoever it may be, it just kind of sets you a level above, right, when you've experienced some world-class fighters like that.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of knowing what you could expect in the ring, having fought against so many different styles, and Troy having done that, she's able to hone a style that is almost universal, a style that works against so many other countries and other training styles, I guess.
Just as you say that now,
just mauling forwards.
Troy comes through, breaks the guard there, just landed a right through, just sort of monstering away through the guard there of Baylee.
Yeah, I think Baylee's just starting to come a little bit undone.
I mean, as technical as Troy is, she's also very aggressive. You know, she's got such a smothering...
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling there's an 8 count coming, because she's just saying, yep, there you go. She wasn't able to respond. She was starting to get, you know, quite a number of blows. Troy was getting the blows in on Baylee. Referee just making sure everything's fine, as I say. Safety is number 1. Just a slight adjustment to the headgear. Get the hair out of the way.
Good call there, Brett. Just as you called it, they went to the 8 count. So.
I wish I could get it well with my lotto tickets. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not much fun when you're getting punched in the face and you can't see.
Yeah, she's... it wouldn't surprise me if she pins her up on the... I'm talking Troy, pins her back up on the ropes, that the referee's going to step in again. And if she doesn't start responding, I think you'll find that the referee's going to sit there and say, I'm sorry, I'm not putting up with this anymore. She's just getting clipped all the time.
We've got 15 seconds to go now.
Yeah, whether the referee's going to... If he hears the 10 seconds, he might let it go on.
Beautiful display there.
I don't think he'll want to stop it, or either of the fighters will want to stop it. But he's looking very, very closely at it. But with just a couple of seconds to go, I think you're going to find...
Yeah, Troy Garton. Just like a freight train there, finishing that round, steaming forward, smashing through. Terry there rubbing the head of Baylee. They're on opposite corners.
That's a really good performance from Troy. I'm really impressed.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what she needed, that kind of test in the ring. think Baylee did a good job of upsetting her time in the first round or two, but Troy obviously just pulled through in that third round, even getting an 8 count. So, top effort, top marks for Troy.
Yep, she followed through. But you'll see when the highlights pop back up, the boxes, it's a great camera angle you're actually getting to see at the moment here at the arena.
We're spoiled, right? We're spoiled for choice with these angles tonight. For those watching back home, be loving it as well.
So we'll head down to Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Troy Garton.
I think it was pretty much a given.
Medals are being
Well
presented
deserved.
by
Well deserved. I think she worked hard for that, but those efforts really paid off.
So, of course, we, David, getting into some great bouts tonight. And tell you what, the next one I'm really looking forward to with Michelle Nuku coming in.
Oh, don't get me started. Cara Wharerau.
I know,
Michelle
but
Nuku.
you go and see what they did in the last couple of bouts, that both of them actually trying to qualify for this final. It was all on.
The crazy thing about this one, Cara's number 1, Michelle's number 2. Who wants this number 1 spot? Who's it going to be?
It's going to be interesting. You might have to fill me in on those last couple fights. I missed them.
Oh, did you miss them?
No,
barn
burners.
Absolutely fantastic. So we'll just jump down to our ring announcer as he can invite the next two in. But David, what are your plans up to now?
boxers ready, please.
So obviously I'm training for my pro debut in late Feb. So I'm basically just working hard to get better at punching people in the face. But I think tonight's all about these amateur boxers. I don't want to take any limelight away from these two.
Oh, it's great that the fact that you're not boxing here tonight, but of course you attending here and
ladies
watching
and
these young
gentlemen,
boxers.
the following is a finals bout.
I get to enjoy these bouts without
contested
getting
in
punched in the
the
face.
light welterweight
Great spot. Great spot
women's
to be in.
64 kilo division. Fighting out of the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Cara Wharerau. And in the blue corner, representing Bay of Plenty Boxing Association, Michelle Nuku.
Now, if you know anything about anything of the New Zealand women's boxing scene or
Your
boxing in
referee
general,
is Sunita Lalu.
this is an absolute banger. Cara Wharerau, Michelle Nuku. This is a real showdown of the best here in New Zealand.
Of course, these are the light welterweights, 64 kg. And I can promise you one thing, it will be fireworks from the moment that bell goes. Michelle will come out screaming and Cara will not take a back foot step.
Watch Cara. She's very technical. She likes to be off the back foot. She's very, very busy. Michelle is going to try shut her down, walk forward, but Cara is so good off her back foot.
Cara looks like she wants to stand her ground a little bit. I'm used to seeing her take the back foot right from the start, but she looks like she wants to plant her feet a little bit.
I mean, you'll see a very, very busy style here from Cara. She'll always move. She'll always be on the back foot, but she fights very good on her back foot. But isn't that a perfect mix for Michelle Nuku? She just loves to walk forward and bash, stand and bang.
Yeah, that Cara was sort of waited for a second. I think she thought the referee was going to say, hey, give us a break. And Michelle hadn't heard a thing, so she just kept going.
Landed 3 or 4 shots to the body.
I mean, it was only just a few months ago that Cara was on the Golden Gloves. Super active. That's what it takes, though. If you want to win the national title, you have to be active.
As I say, we've got viewers all around New Zealand. Had a couple of messages coming through. People enjoying the coverage that they're watching with Sky Sport next, and of course on Sky Channel 9. Watching the best of the best of the New Zealand Championships and amateur boxing.
Both girls thrown down straight in the centre of the ring. Not really holding off on the tempo, just sort of standing in the middle, jabbing, throwing rights. Not found their rhythm quite yet.
Yeah, I think Cara's doing a good job of mixing up her attack. So she's taking her long, she's taking her wide, staying on the back foot, and then when she plants her feet, she lets 3 or 4 hard shots go, as you see there.
64 kilograms. Who's going to be national champ? Both very well-known names in this weight division, so it's a tantalising matchup. I really am curious to see who takes away this national title.
Well, Cara is, of course, 3 times national champ and 4 times North Island Golden Glove champ. And currently, Michelle Nuku is the current New Zealand lightweight champ. Her trainer is Chris Walker.
Nice little body shot there. Just went lower than the guard of Nuku.
Yeah, Michelle doing a good job of moving her head on the inside. I'd just like to see her move her head as she's moving into the danger zone. Cara is really doing a good job of just picking her off as she enters the danger zone, which is one of her strengths. She's really good at using her feet to I guess adjust and assess where the fight's going to happen.
Yeah, good call there. Yeah, Dave. She moves. She's very busy, but she moves those angles as well. Always switching on, and she's okay off the back foot, which is, not all boxers are good at doing that, at punching on the back foot.
Yeah, just the ability to plant your feet and go is really important for a back foot boxer. So a lot of people get carried away with always boxing on the back foot, but there comes a time where you really have to assert your dominance and plow a couple of punches through, and she's doing a great job at the moment of just aiming at the big target, which is the chest. And if you don't hit the chest, you usually hit something else, which is, in best case scenario, someone's face, or in the worst case is someone's shoulder. But either way, you're making that contact.
Would you say that's one of your favourite moves too, with your reach, standing back, planting your back right foot, putting your left foot up and throwing that right? Yeah,
I think bringing people onto your punches adds a little bit of power, because you're using their force against them. And I think Cara's doing a great job at the moment of using Michelle's momentum against her.
Without giving away too many of your tricks, eh? It's always good to have someone walking into your shots. Talking about walking into shots, we're only in round 2, but what an exciting matchup. And look, this is the highest caliber of this weight division, and we're really seeing, hard to call. I'm not even going to try call this. How are you guys seeing this fight go so far?
I'd say it's pretty even.
Yeah, I think Cara's doing a good job of beating her at the outside game, but when it comes into close range, Michelle is having a lot of success to the body, and obviously just working the levels up and down. It'd be interesting to see how this fight develops.
Well, the reason I say that too, because we've seen fights throughout this tournament where someone has been more active, but someone's been more aggressive, landing those shots, and have won. So it's always interesting to see how we see it, but then how the judges see it.
Yeah, well, Cara just at that point put a nice overhand right onto Michelle Nuku's ear, so it sort of gave her a little bit of a wake-up call to say, hello, yeah, you think you might have this, but no, I'm here. And again, sometimes that aggression, David, is if you go in too fast and you're expelling a heck of a lot of energy but not getting the result out of it, the tank starts emptying rather quickly.
Absolutely. I'd say the amount of energy you use missing punches is about 6 or 7 times as much as it takes when you actually land a punch. It's actually quite forgiving when you land a punch. Obviously, when you're missing punches, you have to retrieve that shot and bring it back up to your cheek.
I'm saying that, though, your brother was a great fighter and basically expelling energy and being aggressive. I heard back in the day he was one of the hardest hitters in his division.
Yeah, he was just stiff. He was just a really stiff guy who's had the ability to use his feet to actually generate force, which I think Cara is actually a great example of that as well. Able to use her feet to get out of range, but then also step in with her whole body and actually use the weight of her body to generate that force.
As we were saying earlier, these are 3-minute rounds, so these are doing it just like every other boxer in every other division. They do pack a mean punch, these ladies.
The interesting thing now too, you see Cara starting to move forward. She's always been on the back foot.
Beautiful uppercut there.
Yeah, just showing another layer to her game, I guess. Not used to seeing her really plant her feet like that.
Yeah, that's what I was actually quite surprised about. But
Even turning Michelle around and putting her on the ropes. There we go.
Bit of a layer cake approach here, and she, like you said, she's being dynamic, and just goes to show the level she can switch up in this fight here today.
Yeah, Michelle's no slouch. She's really putting up a good fight against the top in the division. So I think this last round's going to be pretty interesting. I'm not sure if it's a tactical thing that Cara is trying to take Michelle's options off her, but at the moment it's looking like she's got a plan A through to Z at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to mess with too, right? Plan A to Z, being that dynamic when you've only got pretty much an A to B type plan, or A to B C. But we've seen aggression win, so it's going to be a tough one. It probably will come down to the third round.
Just noticed right at the end of that round, that Cara's mouth guard was just starting to drop down, so she's drawing some serious air into those lungs. They'll be burning.
I think she's trying to make a point. I think she's trying to make a point that second round by turning her around and actually putting the pressure back on Michelle. There's nothing more disheartening than someone beating you at your own game. So Cara obviously working really hard just to let Michelle know that she's the boss.
Will it also be a display too, though, that she has felt the shots and maybe they're not as hard as, or she can actually handle them. So hey, I've got a bit more confidence. Going to plant a few.
Just a little repair job to the left-hand glove of Cara. Both their trainers have probably said, look, we need to just lift the workload a little bit. It is round number 3. So, again, we keep saying it, but make or break. This is it. 3 minutes of glory, or you're not going to have that championship name beside yours.
I mean, this fight, though, alone, it's been an all-out war. It's been a technical war. You know, they haven't just stood in the middle of the ring and thrown for the fences. But if you know a little bit about boxing, this is super technical, and it's quite enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, big 1-2 there from Cara. I think she's starting to find her range a little bit. But like you said, it's been a back and forth fight right from the first bell. And
Cara's thrown, like you said, the A to Z, great call. She's taken up so many levels in terms of going back, going forward. I do love the aggression though from Nuku. I mean, she just walked forward. I love that Terminator style.
Yeah, she's having a bit of success on the inside as well. You see that quick little barrage of body punches. That's quite an art in itself. Just being able to get into that position and actually let your hands go that fast is it's not something I'm very good at doing.
Oh, you done a few rounds this week though. No more sparring. Is that it for the week?
That's me done. Yeah, my hands are getting a little bit sore. It was a big right hand there from Cara. I think she just turned around. She may have hurt her there. Maybe not. She's back on the front foot.
Just standing about now.
She's tough.
Just staying in the middle now.
Yeah, you're going to see, I think, both boxers starting to a little tire at the moment. But they'll be getting a call from their corner to say, listen, it's just a minute to go, so keep it going.
Nice little jab there from Cara as we get down to the final 30. Not too long to go now. High work rate from both girls, and it is 3-3s. Shell already fighting over this tournament. Cara going straight through to the final. Big right. It's quite interesting talking to Cara. She was almost a bit disappointed she didn't get a fight before the final.
Yeah, she had a walk through.
I think you'll find that with a lot of boxers, they want to get one under their belt before the final. You want to almost get into your groove before you get under the lights for the final.
Under the lights, and look at these ladies throwing shots as the final clapper goes. 10 seconds now. It just goes to show too the attitude and the competitiveness. Like you said, David, some people would love a walk through to the final, but others were like, no, I want to warm up.
Absolutely.
Lance Rebel to the ring.
I think Cara is one of those athletes that really wants to get as much experience as she can, and to have 2 fights at the nationals is way more satisfying than having one, and having known that your opponent's already fought once before. You want to feel like it's a level playing field. It's just a good sportsman.
So, of course, we've had approximately 81 bouts by the end of yesterday, I should say. In total 24 today. So we'll just go back and have a look at some of the highlights of this fight that is just completed. We're just waiting to hear back, get the decision. So we'll head down to Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision 3-2 in the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Cara. Wow. Presenting the medals is Lance Greville. Lance is an Oceania gold medalist, a Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, 2 times New Zealand champion, New Zealand professional heavyweight champion, New Zealand professional cruiserweight champion, and a New Zealand light heavyweight champion. Another round of applause, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for both fighters and Lance.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Great performance by both the girls, Michelle and Cara.
Well deserved. I am mad at that decision. I mean, Cara took it to her A to Z, like you said, Dave. Came away with the win, New Zealand champ.
Yeah, I think that was the right decision. It doesn't get much closer than that in terms of the scorecards, but yeah, I think Cara did enough to win that bout.
Well, you can look at the program that's just popped up on the screen, of course. A couple of the big ones, and I've mentioned it once, and I'll mention it one more time. One of the ones that I'm really looking forward to is, of course, Emil Richardson up against Ryan Scaife. I think that's going to be good. I think Michael Reynolds, Cayden Hope. You got something that you're interested in? In the young man?
You called it, mate. The real deal, Emil and Ryan Scaife. I mean, even the next fight though, Jessica David and Ariane is going to be an absolute banger. Both highly skilled athletes, but then we've got Jerome Pamplona as well. So, I mean, from here on out, it's absolutely stacked.
Yeah. So we'll go down to our ring announcer and get that sorted out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the welterweight women's 69 kilo division. Fighting out of the red corner, representing Bay of Plenty Boxing Association, Ariane Nicholson. And fighting out of the blue corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Jessica David. Your referee is Ina Schuster.
Like I said before, this is going to be an absolute barn burner of a fight. Both girls coming in for the win. 69 kilograms, 3 threes. Both formidable fighters.
Bit of a shout out to our ring announcer, Vinny P. A lot of people been hearing those dulcet tones for the last 4.5 days.
Vinny P doing an amazing job as we get ready now for bout number 5. Who wants this? New Zealand champ. Ariane there in the red. Jessica in the blue representing Mayhem, aka Shamrock.
And these ladies, of course, in the welterweight, so we've jumped up to 69 kilograms. Ariane out of the Bay of Plenty, and Jessica David from the Shamrock.
This is a 5 kilogram weight division jump as well, so you see the girls have a bit more power. They'll plant their shots. They won't move around probably as slightly as the previous fight, but they're pretty fluid so far.
Yeah, Ari's got a pretty solid go-forward kind of style. Jessica obviously wanting to be on their back foot and box on the outside. But Ari is very strong, very tough, and moves really well in a straight line.
Yeah, Ari's got about a 3-inch height advantage, so not a heck of a lot.
They look pretty even from here.
Yeah, I think she's just taking that slightly lower stance.
Just walking her down too, you know, it looked like she's using that strength, that power just to walk her down, and not even comparable to the last fight, but Ariane just looks, you know, like you said, Dave, she's got that walk forward style.
And there's going to be a couple of presentations during this evening, of course, with New Zealand boxing wanting to and wishing to recognise some of the servants and stalwarts of the sport. Without the volunteers, of course, David, you'd know this better than anyone. The sport, you know, would, like most sports, without volunteers, would struggle.
Oh, absolutely. They've really done a huge thing for our sport, and obviously, like you said, I wouldn't be here today without those people that are so graciously given their time to look after our sport.
Looking at this fight too, look at the way Ariane walks forward, using her weight, using that strength to walk down Jessica. She's just dominating the fight so far.
Yeah, such a stiff jab. As you can see, she's really struggling just to get past that jab as Jessica.
I mean, Jessica is definitely probably the more technical of the two, but Ariane just walking forward, breaking that guard. Just as I said that, though, Jessica throws a little shot of her own.
Stay away from the back of the head, of course. Getting ready for that 10-second clap to give them a bit of a wake-up call. And bit of a haymaker going over the top.
That's the thing, like, Dave, what are your thoughts too when you have been up against a walk-forward Terminator style? And what do you do? Stick a move, meet them head on. What would you be saying to the corner right now?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of actually, like we talked about a bout or two ago, it's just using their weight against them, using their momentum against them, and trying to turn them inside out, but just by using fast angles left and right. Jessica doing a good job at the moment of keeping that distance, but what's happening is she's walking straight forwards and meeting Ariane in the middle, which is one of the places where Ari gets her power from.
Yeah, struggling, right? In terms of, not struggling in terms of the technical aspect, because she's throwing punches and bunches, but Ariane's so strong, she just walks forward and weathers every single punch.
Yeah, I think I'd just like to see Jessica step off on an angle before
Seconds
she makes
out,
those attacks.
round 2.
So as we mentioned, not only are we being watched at this point with our New Zealand viewers, but we have had a few from international. One we'd like to recognise as Debor Consensus. He is tied up with Asian boxing with the public relations side of things, and he's been following this for the few days all the way in Hungary.
Wow, yeah, I've met Tibor all over the world. He seems to be everywhere and nowhere all at once.
Nice shot there from Ariane, just pushing forward and actually rocking back Jessica as she tried to throw one.
Yeah, she doesn't offer much of a target. She's so good at keeping that tight defense as she walks forward. So I think Michelle's just struggling a little bit at actually finding those gaps, and Ari doing a great job of closing that gap and landing her punches on the way in.
That's one thing you actually picked up on quite well, is that yes, she's aggressive, but she holds such a strong, tight guard. It's quite hard for Jessica to even break when she does punch it. She just threw a shot then, but it didn't break the guard.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do would be to find an angle before you make those attacks. So to have someone who's a go-forward fighter walking in a straight line, having to turn left and right, all of a sudden it adds another aspect to the offense, to the offensive game of the back foot fighter, which is Jessica David or David.
Now, I've got no information on whether these two ladies have actually fought against each other before.
Yeah, I've seen the spar before, and it was more of the same, similar kind of dynamic. You know, Ari moving forwards in a straight line, and just out muscling Jessica. But Jessica doing a great job of working that jab on the outside, just getting a little bit stuck when Ari does back her up to the ropes.
Jess, though, she is a 220 Golden Glove champ against Ariane, who is a 2-time Golden Glove champ. So both girls great accolades. And the thing is too, though, Dave, when you've sparred someone, it's different under the lights, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a completely different sport. You're not trying to obliterate your opponent in most cases in sparring, and I think it's having the smaller gloves is also a little bit different. Then, not to mention, you've got so many eyes on you when you're in an actual fight.
Sometimes too, like they say, any given Sunday, right? You can be quite relaxed in the sparring session, do well, and then when you're under the lights, you forget a few things and don't perform as well in a relaxed sparring session.
Absolutely, yeah. You find a lot of people actually perform a lot better in a gym when there's no pressure, you know.
Yeah, I mean, some of the unrecorded rounds that you've sparred, I would pay money to see, you know.
Those are some of the best rounds, some of the best.
Seconds out. Wow.
Yeah, you're talking about the spar, but of course there was always the famous story of Lance Revel when he was asked to spar with Muhammad Ali and thought he'd take him on. Not a very good move.
This happened. I haven't heard about this.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Just speaking of it before that, all the accolades that Lance Revel's had, I mean, 4-time, 6-time, multiple weight divisional champion. Yeah, like you said, did a couple of rounds with Muhammad Ali when he came to New Zealand.
But I think he thought I think it got to him, shall we say, in a very polite way.
I'm so jealous. I wish I was around then. I probably would have done the same to get to my head.
You're far too young for that. But as far as any boxer that you could name, is there someone that you really do admire?
I think my favourite of recent years would
Seconds
be
out,
Andre
round
Ward.
3.
Andre Ward, just for his brains and his ring IQ. And then my favourite of all time is Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the best pound for pound of all time. So two guys that have really changed the sport over the years.
Well, of course, round number 3. Ariane Nicholson, and Jessica David.
Moving well, though. Look, I like the way Jess has thrown those left hooks and really moved right round to the left. But I want to see her throw more, though. She needs to move more angles to really combat this aggressive style here from Ariane.
Yeah, Ari making it pretty ugly in there. I think Jessica's instructions from the corner are obviously to punch as you're moving on an angle. And that's a really tough ask against a strong opponent like Ari, because she's going to keep coming forwards. If you don't get off on an angle the first time, she's going to be right there.
Yeah, it's so hard to combat such an aggressive style because you can do all the tricks, the moves, even if you've got A to Z style.
That's better. That's a nice hook off. Both left and right.
Just as you said it again, she moved well. This is where a dynamic boxer can break down the fight style of quite a rigid walk forward style.
Yeah, I think Jessica's struggling with what to do after she's made that hook off. So she's finding that angle, but Ari's turning and just continuing to walk her down.
It's quite interesting too, like talking to you, Dave, and other boxers. New Zealanders, we've got quite an aggressive boxing style. It must be interesting fighting here and then experiencing those overseas.
Oh, absolutely. One of the biggest benefits of being here in New Zealand and being so isolated is that the rest of the world never knows what to expect when we come overseas. We've got so many different styles, so many different training styles across the gyms, across the regions. So we're often the dark horses when it comes to international boxing.
Of course, we're just on a minute to go at round number 3. Of course, one of these ladies is going to be crowned the champion for it. And as I say, I will explain that 2020, of course, we've had to hold this back because of the COVID crisis, but now we've got over that, which is why it's so good for Sky Sport Next and Sky Channel 9 to be able to have live boxing in New Zealand. And I do know there are a number of countries that are tuned in to us at the moment watching this as we get into the 30 seconds in this final round.
And what a fight. This is why this is on the Nationals. This is why it's televised. These women are the best of the best as they throw down now for the final 10-second clapper.
Yeah, Ari just doing a really good job of walking her down. And when she gets on the inside, she doesn't wrap up, she doesn't hold on, she keeps punching, which is a massive a massive strength when it comes to amateur boxing, because as long as you're on the inside, they're going to keep letting you fight, especially with the new scoring and the new reffing style.
What a round there was. I mean, Ariane certainly stood there, standing book, and bang, bought it to Jessica for the whole amount of those 3 rounds. But let's go to the judges now to see how they decide this.
We've got some presentations coming up, but we'll just let cross down to Vinny. I think he's got everything sorted. Here we go. Thumbs up. We're away.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision, 3-2. In the red corner, representing Bay of Plenty Boxing Association, Ariane Nicholson. The medals will be presented by David Light. David is a 3-time New Zealand champion, the Commonwealth Games silver medalist, the current New Zealand professional cruiserweight champion, and the current WBO Oriental cruiserweight champion. Another round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for both fighters and David.
We enjoyed that.
Oh, big shots there, and well-deserved. Ariane charging away forward, super aggressive, shut down the style there of Jessica. Well-deserved. We've got a new national champ, and that's Ariane.
And as I say, we're incredibly blessed to get this amazing footage we're receiving from our cameraman and our production team. Just let you know that it's as we get ready for our next bout, there will be a presentation coming up for some life memberships for the New Zealand boxing. And we'll head down to Vinny to introduce our next number of boxers coming to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the light heavyweight women's 81 kilo division. Fighting out of the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Steph Trotter.
Seth's a southpaw.
And fighting out of the blue corner, making her way to the ring, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Elenoa Lilo.
You know something, I was just going to say, I was wondering whether or not there was the community, the spirit with the boys, but no, Canterbury say makes no difference, we're out here to party.
Oh, mate, no doubt about it. When Canterbury's here, you can certainly hear it. Listen to them go.
Red corner, Steph Trotter. Blue corner, Elenoa Lilo. And your referee is Paul McSherry.
Eleanor likes to be referred to as Ellie, so big shout out to everyone. She's asked us to say hello in Firth Crescent and Payne Avenue. I don't know, that must be in Christchurch, of course, somewhere. And
Shout out to?
Stephanie's from Nabby's Boxing Gym and representing the Auckland Boxing Association. Getting their final instructions.
81 kilograms, 3x3. Stu Adams, too, in the corner of Elenoa, did come up to me and say, hey, make sure you mention my name and represent Burnham all the way from Christchurch. 81 kilograms, going up again in kilos. These girls have got power.
Yeah, Eleanor's had a total of 13 fights. And Stephanie, what have we got with her? 20, just over 20. 22. Oh, a couple of lovely rights from Steph Trotter.
What we're seeing here too is stepping up in weight, the power comes up. They're not going to move around too much. It's going to stand and bang like they are now.
And there's an old expression, who said girls can't fight?
Well, I'm definitely going to say it to one of these ladies because might end up in a stretcher.
Yeah, Steph had some good success in the first minute of the round with that backhand, but Ali really shown that she can box and fight on the inside.
Yeah, well, Ali sort of normally competes in the under 75s. Currently with the New Zealand Army. Oh, that explains a lot. She's actually one of the physical training instructors. Good luck.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do too many rounds with her.
No, not if you would.
No, you wouldn't want to not do what you're told.
Light heavyweight, 81 kilograms. Interesting weight too, Dave. I mean, they're not quite heavyweight, but they're not middleweight, so they're somewhat in between. Quite a tricky weight, isn't it, the 81 kilogram division?
Yeah, well, they're in great shape. They're of a weight that is actually, they're able to move that weight around and be athletic, and obviously, as you can see, they throw some big haymakers.
And every shot thrown at this weight will be tough. These girls are tough. They're standing and banging. Eleanor throwing. Hard one to call too. I mean, feel a bit sorry for the judges in this one. We're standing up here watching this one, but it's quite hard to score when the punches aren't as clean in this one, and I can't even call it each way.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, Steph doing a better job on the outside, but when they come on the inside, when they start fighting short, it becomes anyone's game.
Just as we said that though, Eleanor landed a beautiful shot, pushing the head the way of Steph. And that's gonna be in favour of her on the judges' scorecards if she lands a few more.
Absolutely, I think Ali just needs to time Steph's attacks, because she does come in from a long way out. She takes a big step on the way in to get those punches off.
How important too is that last 10 seconds? Some people say the aggression, but that last 10-20 seconds, if you stand, bang, and land a few more, does that put you slightly in edge on the cards?
Yeah, well, I think you can steal around. You can steal around in the judges' eyes. If you land a couple of big shots, those are the last two shots that the judges will remember from that round. So it's always more important to win the last 30 than is the first 30.
For those watching back home too, though, all these fights are scored via a points click type system. It's not written down on cards, it's all clicks. So they're pushing either red or blue per round. Which, when you go to pro boxing, it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
seconds out,
3 judges.
round.
A lot more similar than it used to be. I think the scoring system has changed over the years, but it's I'd say it's changed for the better. It's a little bit more subjective, but overall, your style actually does matter now, as opposed to just making contact on the scoring parts of the body.
Speaking of scoring parts of the body, Eleanor walking forward now.
Big pressure from Ali.
Putting scores on doors. Yeah, Ali certainly walking forward now. Being the short of the two, but hasn't meant squat tonight with all these fighters. She's walking forward now. Big shot again landed from Ali.
Yeah, Steph just seems to be losing a little bit of authority on the outside. I'd like to see her get back to that jab. Punch that jab through.
Paul McSherry watching intently. Very good ref. Always good when he's in there.
Big right hand from Ali.
Coming forward again, Ali. Got her up against the ropes. I don't know if you saw the last part of the first show there, David. It was a big KO, and we might be seeing a few more tonight, but that's not what we want or expect, but it can happen.
Oh, it absolutely can happen, and it could happen again.
Both girls got the power to do some damage. Nice shot
Big
again.
left hand.
You'd call that a slugfest, or would you call it tiddlywinks in a ring?
Total
That's some big
slugfest.
shots.
Well, also too, these are powerful shots. Both these females are trained to fight. They can throw. I'll tell you what, boys, you wouldn't want to take one of those clean. Steph Trotter there in the red. Elenoa Lilo there in the blue. What a matchup. Someone's going to walk away victorious as the New Zealand champ. judges.
Ellie just seems to be having a little bit more success on the inside now, and that seems to be where the fight's happening more often.
Sort of getting down to the final 40 seconds in this bout number 6. It's only round 2, so there's still a ways to go for either one of these ladies.
You know what I mean? Ellie has been the more aggressive of the two. Some look like she's looking a bit, not worse for wear, but breathing a bit heavier than Steph, who just continues to walk forward, keeps that pace.
You know, we could talk about it sort of being like a sprint for the 3 minutes in each round, but of course you've still got to conserve a little bit of energy to keep it going.
Well, that's the thing, and good comparison of the day before with those 1.5s. You know, with those 1.5 minute rounds, they just came sprinting through. You've got to conserve more energy, and you'd agree on that, wouldn't you, Dave?
Oh, absolutely. Those 3 minute rounds can feel like a really long time, especially if you go and waste all your energy in the first 2 minutes of the first round.
Fortunately for you, that's every single round for you now, right? Even the pros, what's it going to be? 4 3s?
As many as you like. I can do any of them. Can't wait to get to those 10 and 12 round fights.
I've got to ask, seriously?
I think that's where I come into my own a little bit. So those longer rounds will suit me for sure.
Have you got an opponent too for the 27th?
I think we're going to lock it in on Tuesday.
3.
Lock it in on Tuesday. So very exciting.
Can't wait to hear it. Can't break it here on Sky Sport next.
No, I don't think I'm allowed to. No.
I think it's in the fine print.
No, I've been trying.
Well, we're enjoying presenting to you the National Championships here in Wharerau on Sky Sport next, and of course Channel 9 on Sky, all around New Zealand and of course internationally, as we get into round number 3 with Ellie and Steph Trotter in the red, and this next 3 minutes is going to be fireworks again.
Steph Trotter, I mean, she's been consistent, she's walked forward, but Elenoa's got such power that every time she does walk forward, she's getting met with some shots.
Yeah, I think Steph had some early success with that 1-2 in the first round especially, but since then Ellie's started to find her timing and get on the inside of Steph's range, and as you can see there, just landing that second phase attack.
Steph Trotter to a 220 Auckland champ. She's fought Elenoa 4 times, with Stephanie winning the last fight last year, but Elenoa, man, she has got a certain calibre as well. Ranked 4th in the world, 2nd in New Zealand, and current reigning defending New Zealand national champ. So these girls have certainly shared the ring a few times. It's always going to be a close match.
Yeah, Steph just seems to be slowing down a little bit. I like to see her pick her feet up just a tad. I think that could be the difference in this last round.
It can almost be a blessing and a curse when you've met that many times, Dave? I mean, sometimes it makes it more exciting if it's the first time matchup, because when you have fought a few times, you know each other.
Absolutely. And it's always a tricky dynamic, because if you won the last fight, it means that you've done the right thing and you're going in the right direction, but the ball's really in your opponent's side of the court. So Ellie obviously has something to prove, and she's obviously come back with a game plan that is, it's supposed to win her this fight.
Well, that's the thing.
We've talked about it. When you are the current champion, you've got a target on your back. So
exactly.
Sometimes it means you've got to put in twice the effort to maintain it.
Yeah, just having to adapt to each style as it comes, because like you said, you have a target on your back, and people are basically training to beat you as opposed to training to beat whoever else is put in front of you, which is, I guess in this case, Steph's job is she's having to adapt to the adjustments that Ellie's made since their last bout. There's a big left hand there from Steph.
It's a beauty of the sport. We've only got 20 to go. These girls have shared the ring so many times before. Who's going to walk away New Zealand champ? Ten seconds.
I had a feeling that's where it was going to be, and so I'm breathing hard now. I don't want to be a judge on this one. I'm going to throw me.
Ina Schuster to the ring, please.
It's the 5th time they've fought. Have you ever jumped in the ring 5 times with someone, Dave?
I think I maybe 4 or 5 is the most that I've ever fought the same person before, but it's not fun.
Who was that?
Might have been Jason Waitley, the Australian.
Yes.
But it's always hard to know what your opponent's going to do the next time you fight them, because, like I said, ball's in their court and they have to change their game up a little bit, whereas you just have to get in the ring and adjust on the day.
You almost be sick of them after 4, seeing them the 5th time.
Yeah,
not you again.
I imagine he was more tired of me than I was of him.
So we're just getting the judges' scorecards in. It's all being collated. We'll get the signal from our famous ring announcer. Here we go.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision 3-2. In the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Steph Trotter. The medals will be presented by Ina Schuster. Ina is a 2-time New Zealand champion, AIBA 1-star referee and judge, and the current secretary of the Referees and Judges Association.
Wow, there you have it. Stephanie Trotter taking it away for the 5th fight.
So we'll try and hang on to David just for one more bout. But David, just while we do have you here at the moment, of course, waiting for the announcement who you are going to be fighting. But of course, and it's going to be a big year for you. You must be excited.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking because it's hard to know where this year's going to take me. You know, I'm still working towards going to the Olympics in July, August, but that seems to be up in the air at the moment. So I'm just training as hard as I can and working towards my goals.
Well, we're waiting. You sure you don't want to tell us who it is?
I shouldn't. There's a media release on Tuesday.
Give you a cup of tea.
Get your wallet out. So we're inviting down to our ring announcer. We'll find out who's up next.
It's great to have you here, though, David, and calling all the shots here.
And finding out of the blue corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Alfante.
He boxed really well in the first bout that he had.
Red corner, Richard Pagote. Blue corner, Alfante. Your referee is Greg Winning.
Now, Alfante was a really big handful for the other boxer, wasn't he? He's so unorthodox.
All I can say is if you're sitting down, don't go away. Don't even get a drink. Just stay glued to the screen. You're going to see fireworks. Both these guys are so explosive, super dynamic. You're going to see some great boxing.
Bit of a smile at the moment, but it won't last long. But yeah, Alfante, he's just crazy. We got one orthodox, but he can switch it up. Alfante, and of course Richard, he is a southpaw.
Richard too, all the way from Christchurch. Big shout out to Brian Barry watching back home in Canterbury. Massive support, love the work you do, and see you soon. Alfante there in the blue, Richard in the red. Like I said, don't go away. The angles Alfante moves. Let's see if Richard can shut them down.
Yeah, Richard doing a good job of getting that lead foot on the outside of Al.
Richard to the southpaw. So we've got a southpaw against a orthodox there in the blue. Al, Richard there in the red, throwing out that right jab. What we saw earlier in the fights too, Al has to use that speed. You know, he's a shorter, but he's so quick, he's so dynamic. He's great at shutting down a tall fighter.
Yeah, he's so quick from moving from left to right, and then also being able to sort of come forward again. But he gets himself out of trouble, although in saying
big
that...
backhand.
Yeah.
Big backhand by Richard.
And that's the thing, with the southpaw they make it tricky. Is the speed kills, as they say, but is Al going to be able to counteract the southpaw stance?
You're pretty impressed by the speed of these guys so far.
56 gig. Very tall, Richard, too, for 56.
So they are going for the bantamweight, which of course, as you say, 56 kg for the national title.
Al's starting to look like he wants to switch in a little bit.
Is he going to switch?
Seen him switch to southpaw twice now. He's just trying to figure out how to get on the inside of Richard's range.
You know, the interesting thing too to see about this fight is his speed overpowered any fighter before.
Again.
But he's struggling a little bit too with Richard now. He's quicker, but Richard is very good at controlling this fight now with that right jab.
Yeah, Al's doing a good job of using that lead hand as a rangefinder, but he has to get in so quick, and it's a long way to go when you've got a rangy fighter like Richard. That's
the thing, you've got to throw about 3 out and then try get in, and by the time you already get in, you can get clocked by 1 from the southpaw. Just as I said that, for a few punches and just wrist it for the biscuit, really, to get in.
Yeah, but Richard was he was starting to get pushed into the ropes. He did manage to get himself out of it pretty quickly. Just that little pirouette to the right. Oh,
big back.
Yes, you called it, Bree.
I think he appreciated that one.
Yeah, and Alfante acknowledged it. Did you notice? He just gave that little bit of a nod and said, "Yep, you got me flush."
Well, that's what makes this fight so exciting. You've got such a speedy Gonzalez fighter, Alfante, against the southpaw. Tall, rangy, but very dynamic. Oh, he switched. You called it before, Dave. He is trying to find those angles, trying to find combos that work.
He's doing a pretty good job, I think, but Richard just able to dictate where the fight happens at the moment.
Yeah, so the boys are, I was going to say sizing themselves up, but I think they're sorting out their range. Richard particularly is using his jab well just to keep it all in check.
Bit of a nod there, so yeah, you got me.
He got me.
Wasn't a smile, just a quick nod.
Well, might fire it out as a smirk. Just letting you know, after this fight, we'll be just having about a 5-minute, or maybe probably just a fraction under that, some presentations that are going to be made by the Boxing Association, acknowledging some of the stalwarts of the sport. One of them, in fact, is going to be sitting right beside me shortly, Dr. John Mackay, a name that is absolutely synonymous in boxing circles in New Zealand and worldwide, for instance. When you look at the fact of Scotland.
Round 2. What a banger this is. I mean, we're seeing this is 56 kilograms, but they're absolutely throwing down. Alfante chasing him down, trying to close that distance, break the guard.
Yeah, I think you'll find Al's been told to... he's doing a really good job of getting inside his range. It's just a matter of actually committing to another attack once he's there. Richard's doing a great job of evading that initial attack, but if Al's able to close up that gap and then do the work, Richard's going to have a bit more trouble.
Who would you score this in so far if you had to choose?
I think I have to give the first round to Richard. But I think that it's wide open for debate at the moment.
Nice right-hand guard there of Alfante. The reason I asked you, because I didn't want to call it myself.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll take the fall.
Where's Lawrence? Let's flip a coin. Yeah. Oh, he was up here yesterday, and you guys had about a few months ago as well. Good sport he was.
Yeah, we were back sparring a few days ago, actually, sparring in that very ring. Really great just to catch up, and as soon as he had done the round to me, jumped to my corner, and sparred with a few other guys as well.
Oh, and look, good on you for getting there, doing a few rounds, get a bit of a sweat on. Why not?
Absolutely. I didn't really have much else to do while I was here, but
Fonte connected nicely with that overhead right. Didn't do any damage to Richard, however.
He's not taking too much damage on the inside. It's just a matter of really having another go, just like that. He's getting inside. He just needs to make sure he's still got his hands free to let his hands go.
What we're seeing too, though, is that Alfonte's having to work that much harder. He has to work so hard to get inside the guard, whereas Richard just moves back, pops away.
I think you'd be surprised. It's actually quite hard being a tall, rangy fighter, having to use your spaghetti arms as sticks, because you have longer levers, and it uses a lot of energy just having to keep someone on the outside. But being a shorter fighter, you have shorter levers, and those punches don't actually take as much energy. That's how I understand it anyway.
Well, that's the thing too. You being the taller fighter, you're probably, if you are fighting a shorter guy, which will happen, they're always coming forward. They're always going to close that distance. They're never going to try outbox you.
Good shot there.
David, you were just earlier in the piece, you were just saying the fact of trying to keep that outside foot out from your opponent.
Yeah, so Richard at the moment he's using that lead foot from the southpaw stance to keep on the outside of L's lead foot, and that basically gives him an exit if he needs it. See, just like that, he can switch out to the right, and again.
And just as you said, he did that as the final clap it goes. Round 2.
So look at some of the highlights of the second round. And Alfante, he's a hard guy to try to work out. He's willing to try anything.
Quite defensively sound as well. So even on the inside, he's actually able to counter a lot of those shots that Rich is throwing in.
You saw that too as he threw one, tilted, kept his right hand up just in case that southpaw would come through.
Always looking for the counter.
Beautiful stuff here though from Richard. Looks like a little bit younger than the Alfante there, but
really well composed from what I can see.
So as the seconds are asked to vacate the ring, they're into their final 3 minutes, and again one of these boys is going to be crowned New Zealand champion in the bantamweight for 2020.
Richard has been a 220 South Island Golden Glove champ, ranked 4th in the world.
Big right hand there from Al.
It's like he's woken up again.
He's been told turn the heat on. This is your last.
Yep.
Make or break.
Always been told.
Another good right hand from Al. Just starting to find his timing a little bit, I think.
Parrying those shots now. Like how he's changed his stance and switched hits, but it's, Rich is still doing a good job to keeping it at bay.
Oh, connected on that as well. And we've been wrong at times. Well, I have. I won't speak for you. But of course, we've said that the aggressor appears at this point to be Alfante, as far as the coming forward, constantly coming forward. So whether the judges are going to wait a little bit more towards that, or is Richard's boxing style going to sort of come right, improve the point with the scoring?
Yeah, I think Rich is doing a good job of boxing on the outside. He's landing the cleaner blows at the moment, from what I can tell. But Al doing a great job of actually exchanging on the inside and making his shots count. It's really hard being, obviously being the shorter fighter and having to work so hard, like you said, to get on the inside and then do the work, as opposed to being Richard on the outside. He can box and he can punch and he can move, and he's able to do that without actually having to work to get into range.
So he threw the left hand up there, a bit of a distraction. Bit of a move there to try and get on the inside. But you're right, he's working hard to get on the inside.
Good counter there from Al.
Yeah, and you've got to remember this is the first time for Richard to be at the Nationals.
What a debut.
Live Sky Sport worldwide.
Yeah, not a bad gig.
You talked about him being defensively sound too. He puts up that show. He's showing some real technical boxing finesse as he comes forward in those shots.
Oh, big left hook there from Al.
So with just 20 seconds to go in this bout number 7 of our card, which goes right through to bout 13, we do the 10-second clap and see what these boxers are what they're going to leave in the tank, or
7
are they
seconds.
going to expel it.
Beautiful deflection here from Al. Beautiful round. What a fight.
That's a great bout.
Based on what I've seen so far, I think Al will slightly edge forward on that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's hard to know. It really comes down to what the judges liked, and they're a lot closer to the ring than we are. So a lot of those shots that were landing on the inside are hard to see for us, but ringside, I imagine they're seeing a very clear story. So yeah, looking forward to seeing who got that win.
Well, as I say, with Richard, he's only had 3 bouts for 3 wins, so he'll want to keep that record going, I would say.
Incredible, right?
Yeah, very, very talented young man.
Super talented.
So we'll wait for the scores to come through, and as I say, there will probably be a little break. So the scorecard is in. Poor old Vinny P, he just had to read out a heck of a lot of information and managed to take a breath. Down to Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Alfante.
There you have it, New Zealand champion Alfante.
Yep, as I said, I felt that just the fact that he was the aggressor, he seemed to be coming forward all the time, and it has a lot of the time worked for them with these guys.
Take nothing away from Richard though. This is third fight.
Yeah.
That's a really good showing from both boxers.
Well, David, it's been an absolute pleasure having you up with us, and good luck for the announcement. We won't put any more pressure on to get the information out of you. We realise it's all contractual, but really do appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Cheers. Have a good night.
To you too, my friend. Of course, it's not many places. Yeah, there's not many places that you can just get the big guy sitting beside you, and go from there and say, well, here we go.
Hey, it was great having him in the house, and what a fight that was. Thanks, Dave, for jumping in and commentating all of those fights.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely awesome, and a lot of people don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't realise that. A lot of people don't realise, of course, having the championship title holder making his time available as quick as he does, and they're going to be doing a presentation now. So we're just going to drop down to the presentation, and these are for the life nights.
Even a badge, it's just been in name only or title only, and we'd like to give them at least a certificate to put on the wall. They can put it above the old mantelpiece or whatever. So the first one I'll do, if he doesn't know it yet, but I've got him, is our chairman and ex-president, Mr. Keith Walker. Yeah, and he's not even wearing a tie, and he gave me a hard time for the last week about wearing a bloody tie tonight. Right, the next one on the list is one of our most esteemed members also, is Mr. Rex Jenkins from the Central North Island. Right, from the good old Naki, my hometown or my home province, Mr. Martin Ryan, for services to boxing and many, many years of coaching, and he's been my mentor, and he was the bugger that got me into this sport. So he's got a lot to answer for. Good on you, mate. Good on you, mate.
This is a bit of a tradition with the national championships every year for awards to be handed out.
And now for one of the best old fellas you'd ever meet in the sport, the most humble guy, and he has been a mentor for many, many young men and women over the years, and I really adore this guy. If every coach in this country was anything like a piece of Malcolm Nicol, this would be an amazing place.
Well done.
And last of all, today we honoured... Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, there's more. We have a very distinguished gentleman from the home countries, I guess, who today was made a life member of Boxing New Zealand. And look, he's put so much into the sport. He's the sort of guy that'll sneak out in that changing room and he'll find some poor little fella who's lost a bout and he's feeling a bit down, and he'll slip $50 in his pocket and tell him he's going to be a champion one day. So, in-law, thank you very much. And now there's the last one that we can do here. I do have a member, Peter Leonard, in the South Island, I believe, Peter. Look, Peter and Joy, if you are watching or listening, we've got a little certificate for you, and we really, really, really appreciate what you've done for our sport, and you're in our minds and our hearts. Thank you. Now, the last one, Dr. John Mackay. He's sitting up there, and I know he's hiding. He's on the commentary team. And it would be good. He said there's no way he was going to stand up. But one of the boys could probably point him out or lift him or something. Okay, thank you, John. We appreciate it and we love you, mate.
Thank you very much.
And you come and fight me for your certificate.
Bye now.
Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah. I thought you'd be sneaking.
Bye now.
Cheers, John. And thanks, guys, for the little break. And back to the kids. This is what it's all about.
Very, very, very funny. And I was wondering why you.
Oh, that's classic.
I was getting to put his headphones back on and have a quick chat
John
with him.
Mackay, I wanted to get down there, mate, except that I
Before
will
we
do a
move on,
speech.
I have one more important announcement, please, to the unopposed boxers. The messages from the organisers that you will be
Not going to
presented
sing a song
with
or do a dance for us, John Mackay?
No, I'm not.
Oh, really?
I'm not. No. But it is.
wanna
It's
see a
very
backflip.
nice to be recognised, and it's interesting. The people that were recognised today, they are really the backbone of our game, and have been for a long, long time.
Well, Dr. John, to have you beside us is absolutely a great honour, and we'll be talking to you for the next couple of bouts. Of course, the amount of energy and effort that you put into the sport, the amateur boxing, is absolutely well recognised. We'll just head down to Vinny, and he'll make the announcement for the next boxers to keep our program underway. We're jumping up into the lightweights, which is 60 kilograms.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the lightweight 60 kilo division. Fighting out of the red corner, representing Otago Boxing Association, Matthew Crawford. And fighting out of the blue corner, representing Kirikiriroa Boxing Association, Alex Makuka. Your referee is John Ensor.
So just before we get the bout underway, Dr. John Mackay, you watched some of these. We were talking about the female boxers before. There were some great bouts at the beginning of the day, and of course it's just continuing right through this evening.
I'm very impressed again today with the standard of boxing, both male and female. The fitness in most of them have been exceptional, and some of the skills that we've seen would give a lot of our European opponents a run for their money.
Well, we're looking forward to this bout, that is for sure. Of course, Matt Crawford.
You know what I love about
Out of
this
red.
fight too? Yesterday you saw Makula pick apart Dubé from Auckland. This is a North versus South battle. The guy in the red, South Island Golden Glove. Guy in the blue, North Island Golden Glove. This is a battle of North versus South. Matthew in the red, Alex in the blue.
Alex trained by Raymond Richards.
Once again, we're seeing a bit of a stylistic matchup. The reach from Matthew. Alex, a little bit shorter of the two, but he's very dynamic. We saw him pick apart Dubé yesterday.
So we have Alex, of course, he can switch it up, but and of course Matt is a southpaw. So it's, again, we're looking at this difference. There appears to be a little bit of a height advantage as well.
Tricky too.
You're going to Matthew.
Southpaw, long and rangy against the very vicious walk forward style there of Alex. He's going to have to be aggressive to get inside.
He shows his height is only 5'7", but I'm talking about Matt. But he looks a little bit taller than 5'7". Either that or he's written it down wrong.
Oh, I think it could be the other way around. He's about 6 foot.
Yeah, looking at
Alex Makuka's about 5'7", and Matthew would be about 6 foot. fight, though, and you must love these stylistic matchups, John.
I do, and I think the boy in blue actually is working well in the first round, just taking his time, and doing very good counters. He's doing what the southpaw probably should be doing, counter-punching instead of being aggressive.
As much...
Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry, you go.
And I think when you see him switching from body to head to body, and moving his head, and good defence, I think he's giving Matthew a run for his money at the moment.
Yeah, well, he managed to get a couple inside Matthew, and it was pretty significant, but Matthew's sort of still happy to come forward on Alex, and I say he's got to start using that reach, that height advantage that he's got.
Look at the movement, though. He just came in, took that shot, got out the way, and Matthew should be taking this to Alex. He should be using that range, but Alex is so speedy.
Yeah.
He's taking it to him.
Yeah.
Alex has the hand speed.
Yeah, and I've got a funny feeling I'm going to see the referee come in here in a minute.
He also
He's
has
going to be giving...
deceptively long arms.
He certainly does. Good call there, John Mackay. He does. Being the short of the two, does.
Yeah, had a funny feeling. I said it. He was just starting to get a few in. The referee's decided, I've had enough for this bit. I'll just give you a standing 8 and see how you feel. Remembering, these are 3-minute rounds. The clock is counting down, which is going to give him some respite. But if he gets 3 in the same round, the bout will actually be stopped.
North versus South, 10 seconds to go. What a onslaught here from Alex there in the blue. Great start to the first round. Big shots again, coming forward.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be, again, saved by the bell.
I think he was saved by the bell. And remember, Alex stopped his opponent yesterday.
Yes.
In the second round.
Keith Dubé.
That's the one. I was talking to his trainer, Ray Richards, who used to train with me years ago. He was my flyweight, and a very good flyweight indeed. He said, we're going to try and see if we can have another stoppage. He says, that's what I'm asking him for. So it'll be interesting whether he is going to predict it or not.
These are 3-minute rounds. So the trainers and their cornermen are turning around and saying, look, how are you feeling? He's looking a little bit worse for wear just at that, trying to stay focused.
But what I love about Alex too, I mean, he's not sloppy, he's not crazy, he's coming and he's very controlled, he's very speedy with those shots. It's all measured. He's definitely one to watch.
He's a very, very classy boxer. He's got good boxing skills.
Of course, Alex are born in Zambia, but are now permanent resident here in New Zealand. And of course, nothing more than he would love to represent New Zealand.
Just see the way he crouched and got so low, his right knee almost touched the canvas. Such a fluid style.
Notice that his back is straight, so therefore the referee cannot tell him about crouching too low or bending over.
This is something we don't see too often. What a dynamic style as he comes forward now.
Look at the combination he was just throwing there. He probably got 6 or 7 punches in.
Matthew's going to have to be a bit more accurate with those long shots and keep his distance if he's going to survive.
We talk about resetting, talk about going high-low. He goes high-low by just switching his stance, by lowering that knee, which is quite impressive to see. I'm liking everything I see here from Alex so far. Whereas in most cases, the guy off the reach you would see trying to control the fight using those angles, but Alex just keeps shutting him down.
Yes, he's very good at counterboxing. Got great counter shots.
Yeah, I think Matthew's going to try and...
Walking, counting, moving, punching. Very nice.
Big shot there from Alex.
He's back on him again.
Breath back in. I think you made a good call too earlier, John, with the reach. Even though he is a shorter fighter or two, he's got super long arms and he's actually throwing body shots that are getting through the guard of Matthew.
Yeah, typical African, long arms, lean body, and use them to effect.
Matthew did manage to get one on the chin, but I think you're right. That you're
Bit of an exchange there. He looked like he gave him a bit of a kiss on the peck. Go back to the corner there.
No, I think they've thrown the towel in, have they? Or is it just a mouth guard?
I believe that's the fourth round for Alex, the fourth fight for Alex. where he's won by stoppage in the second
I
round.
think we might just put David Naker in there with Alex. He seems like he's got gas for weeks, this young man.
I think he could probably go another fight.
He was just warming up, hasn't broken a sweat.
No, I don't think he has.
Hey, what a performance though. Hey, this is for the national title. Take nothing away from the Southerner. He is a Golden Dove champ, but Alex was just too strong tonight.
I think Alex also had the advantage that he had one bout yesterday, and though it only went a round and a half, it gave him both focus and confidence to be able to do what he did tonight.
Well, when you watched him come into the ring, John, he was his laser eyes. He was just focused. He knew what he was going to do. He lined up that. So we'll drop down to Vinny and we'll get the score.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by referee stopped contest. In the blue corner, representing Kirikiri Boxing Association, Alex Makuka.
Yes, it was a very, very impressive performance indeed.
Chairman of the Wellington Hutt Valley Association, 4 times New Zealand champion, silver and bronze medalist at the Oceania Games, Wellington Hutt Valley head coach, the 2019 co-coach, the Tri-Nations tournament. Once more, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for both fighters.
Funnily enough, we were talking about it earlier. Fighters actually prefer to fight once before the final. Just as you said, John, that fight before for Alex may have primed for this one.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, you would have noticed the Stephen who was actually presenting those medals. Shout out to, as I say, the Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association for what has been an absolutely fantastic tournament and the work that they've done. And young Stephen himself, anything we've required, these guys have just dropped everything to make it all happen. Probably one of the best organised events that I've personally been involved with. So a big shout out to those guys. Fantastic.
I would have to agree, having been to quite a number of national championships over my time, this will be one of the better organised tournaments that we've had.
We'll drop down to Vinny because you can hear the noise building up for this next round.
The following is a finals bout contested in the light welterweight 64 kilo division. Making his way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, Michael Reynolds.
Well, if you didn't see this boy fight yesterday, you certainly missed out.
The blue corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Cayden Hope.
Now, I really enjoyed watching Cayden Hope.
Cayden Hope.
Red corner, Michael Reynolds.
Michael Reynolds.
Corner,
what a matchup.
Cayden Hope, your referee, Peter George.
Michael Reynolds versus Christian Takao yesterday was worth its money. It was a pay-per-view event. He goes through now against Cayden Hope. This is the best of the best. This is the pay-per-view fight right here.
Cayden boxed so well yesterday, John, just so well.
His long left hand was so effective against the southpaw, which is not usual to see. And that was very impressive because he was able to use his long left hand while over that very fast straight right and score every time. It was very impressive.
Let's see how he goes against the aggressive Michael Reynolds, who's done a few rounds of Lawrence, as you're saying yesterday.
Yeah, he's an Auckland champ. He's a New Zealand elite representative and has 2 golden gloves to his name. That's Michael Reynolds. And Cayden is a novice golden gloves 2019 in the 64 kilogram class. Let's see what these boys will be doing.
Super exciting to watch. I can't wait to see this one unfold. Cayden Hope being the taller of the two, certainly taking it to him. Michael's still a super dynamic, aggressive fighter.
Well, the Wellington supporters for Michael Reynolds are letting their voices being heard nice and early in round number 1.
Steve made a good point the other day that sometimes these semi-finals can be harder than the finals, and Michael's fight yesterday was super tough against Christian Takao all the way from Christchurch. Let's see how he goes against Cayden Hope today.
And of course, watching this on Sky Sport Next, get hold of your friends, your mum, your dad, your work colleagues, and tell them that they've got to get them signed up, of course. This is the way you get to see live sport, and it covers a variation of different sporting codes all around New Zealand. And of course, if you're a boxing enthusiast, you can be watching this on Sky Channel 9.
Cayden cutting the ring up quite effectively, isn't he? He's moving Reynolds onto the rope, or into the corner, and is scoring quite well.
You read my mind, Mackay, as he steps forward now, using that left jab, that right hand. Michael's super dynamic, but Cayden's doing a great job of shutting him down.
So the bleachers are getting into a workout from the Wellington supporters.
Cayden shutting everything down that Michael has to offer. I mean, Michael's usually super flamboyant, super dynamic, but is he worse for wear from yesterday's fight, or is Cayden just doing a great job of shutting him down?
Well, I think a combination of both, because young Reynolds had a hard fight yesterday.
And if you didn't watch that fight, go back, watch it. It was a great fight, worthy of the final. However, this is the final now. Who's going to remain or come out a champ? New Zealand champ from this fight. Michael Reynolds, there in the red. Cayden Hope in the blue.
Of course, these boxers, we were saying, they've probably gone back to their accommodation last night. And of course, been able to watch their own refights or who they could be up against potentially.
I'm sure both of them did watch it. And I think we see the result of them being able to watch the fight before.
Look at that, boys, run down. We've got 30 to go, 3 threes. If this is just the first, I can't imagine what the next two are going to be like.
It's a good tactical bout by Cayden.
10-second clapper now. Lugging the way, Cayden's walked forward now, throwing those jabs, and then when he gets a gap, he'll throw an inside body. One last shot to finish it. Cayden Hope. I mean, if I'm going to have to score that one, definitely in favour of Cayden for that first round.
No comment.
Dr. John Mackay, why not?
No comment.
You were mentioning.
No, it's been a good bout, very tactical bout on both parts.
You were mentioning before, when it was the fight before, how you were saying with keeping your back straight, bending at the knees, you can't actually be sort of caught out.
No, if you bend your knees and keep your back straight, it doesn't matter really how low you go. You're not fighting in a dangerous position. But if you bend your head forward, all right, and you drop it so your face is facing the ground, then the referee can see that as a dangerous stance, and so therefore it can warn you.
We saw that from Alex Makuka. He kept his back straight,
dead straight,
kept those knees low, which made it so hard for that taller fighter.
Round number 2, of course, with Michael Reynolds up against Cayden Hope. Cayden Hope out of Auckland. And Michael Reynolds boxing for the Kapiti Boxing Club and representing Kapiti Wellington.
Cayden Hope certainly bringing the heat. Big shout out to our stat man, providing a lot of stats to us tonight, Benji Watt. Hope you're enjoying the fights here tonight. Appreciate your work. Michael coming forward now with the odd body shot, but Cayden certainly bringing the heat tonight. Steps back, throws a couple, lands another overhand right, making it very hard for Michael here tonight.
Yeah, Michael's not intimidated, I can say that. He's
see a bit of a shine or two under the left eye of Michael, and that's probably from yesterday. It wouldn't be from today, obviously, and that just goes to show these boys are fighting 1, 2, 3 times a week or in the last 4 days.
I'm sure Cayden is using it as a bit of a target to be aiming for, and
I'm sure he is.
Just showing dominance there too, you know, he threw a left, a right, and then threw another right. A little bit unorthodox, but he thought, nah, I'm just going to throw it, see if it works, and it did work.
Yeah, simple strategy, long left, long rights, long left. And they seem to be quite effective. Well, I think they are.
Also, too, once a boxer starts getting a bit more confident in the ring, as you can see here, John, he's starting to throw shots that aren't quite, I wouldn't say technical or orthodox, but he's just starting to show a little bit of dominance.
Yes. He's throwing them, he's dropped his hands a little, he's got that confidence now, you can see that.
Just walking them down.
From his chest rather than his shoulders. Reynolds coming back now, so it's a good fight.
Beautiful fight. Such a great fight to watch. Cayden just dipping below that hook there. Love to see these guys fight fresh, but tonight, this is for the New Zealand title. Who wants to step up? Who's going to put the foot to the gas? The crowd going crazy.
Bit of a slugfest with just on 20 seconds to go in round number 2.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
left shot combination.
Hard to believe it's only round 2. One more to go.
Yes, and Cayden's finishing much stronger at the end of that last round.
Yeah, I think you could see that Cayden had side that up.
It'll be interesting to see whether young Reynolds comes back in the last round, whether he has enough in the gas, enough gas in the tank to come back stronger, because he will need to. He'll need a good last round to take the fight.
Getting a little bit of motion lotion, get him something into him at the moment, because he was breathing very hard right at the end of this round here. You can just sort of see his hands were down, he was in the corner, he was just ducking and diving and trying to sort of get back to that seat as quick as possible.
And I would say his coach in the corner is giving him a bit of a rev as well, so yes.
You can see too that the confidence though. I mean, look at the way Cayden's walking forward, he's taking every shot, he's walking him down. The shots, anything that Michael throws, doesn't seem to off-put Cayden as he walks forward.
No, Cayden's very focused actually.
Nice gesture by Cayden to actually acknowledge the glove prior to getting into the ring. Both boxers agreed, so.
Take nothing away from Michael though. He's a gamer, he's coming forward, standing and banging. These guys are standing straight in the middle of the ring. They're not going against the ropes, they're not hugging, they're just leaving it all out there.
No, Michael's not prepared to say, I've given this up yet to you, my friend.
No, he's boxing better this round.
Yeah, he's certainly taking it and making it a bit harder for Cayden.
Yep.
Just seems like Cayden's the slightly fresher, more dominant of the two. One minute down, 2 minutes to go. Someone's going to come out of this victorious as the new New Zealand champ at 64 kilograms.
Oh, lovely right.
Quite deceptive too, it's hard to, looking at them here from on the screen, they're only 64 kilograms. They look a lot larger than that, but that's what they weighed in at.
They always say television adds a couple of pounds to you.
Cayden's got quite long arms, I think, and he uses them to effect. And young Reynolds has got long arms, but he's not using his long shots.
Not sure what the ref said there. Did he say zip it?
I think he said zip it. I don't know what he...
No smack talk, just get forward, do the business, hold that guard up and throw down. This is exactly what they're doing now as we get ready for 1 minute down.
Yeah, definitely Cayden has not let the intensity drop at all. Oh, and a beautiful overhand right.
Great move too there.
Yeah.
Quick break, then throw one. Take him off guard.
Wellington supporters aren't giving up on Michael, that is for sure. The noise in the stadium is fantastic. Michael Reynolds up against Cayden Hope. Just on 30 seconds to go in round number 3. This is going to determine who's going to take out the light welterweight 64 kg nationals.
Who's going to beat Cayden Hope?
Well, young Reynolds is coming back again at the finish.
What a war this has been from the get-go. Both boys are thrown down. They've never taken their foot off the gas. This is so worthy of a New Zealand championship fight.
Oh, it's a great final.
Big shots now as they throw
Absolutely
down.
great final.
Crowd's going crazy. Look at that.
That's some finish.
Yeah, you got to give them a round of applause for that.
Absolutely. That was some finish.
We're clapping up here. Everyone's clapping back home. What a fight.
Regardless what the decision is, that was a great finish.
Yeah, both quarters acknowledging that fight big time. Of course, the coverage being brought to you by Sky Sport Next. It's also appearing on Channel 9. I'm just waiting for a signal from... No, he's waving everyone but me, so that's okay. We'll just wait and see for the announcement to be made.
I'll do the quick calcs. Both boys holding up their hands.
Yeah. Where do you reckon, Dr. John Mackay?
I'm a trainer, not a judge.
Such a diplomatic answer from Mr. Mackay.
Isn't it?
I do think blue. I think Cayden has probably won it. That's my view.
We're about to find out as we head down to our ring announcer, Vinny P.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision, 4-1. In the red corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, Michael Reynolds. The medals will be presented by Keith Bullock.
What would you like me to
Keith
say?
is a two-time New Zealand champion, Australian Australasian champion,
Very surprised.
light middleweight professional boxer, ending
young Reynolds
his
came back in
career
that last round,
undefeated.
certainly,
Most
but,
importantly,
I thought
born
the
and
first
bred
two
in
rounds,
Porirua, where he
was
fought
young,
for the
Cayden.
Riverside Boxing Club in Porirua.
Wow. I have to say that is a wow moment.
Certainly, as you saw the face there of Isaac Peach.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Dr. John Mackay, for joining us up here and getting us through a number of those, and congratulations on your award.
Okay, thank you very much. I've enjoyed being here, and keep up the good work.
We'll see you, maybe see you in Wanganui. Yep. Of course, we've got more to come this year, and people have been asking, a lot of us have been asking why we're calling it the 2020 Awards, and I know that we've been getting a little bit of flack for it, but I'll just explain it. Because of COVID, of course, these championships had to be postponed until now, which transferred it into 2021. So there will be another championship event later in the year. Date is yet to be confirmed, but I can tell you it will be in Wanganui.
It's a beautiful thing. Two events in 1 year, two nationals. So you can win here at 2020, you can win 2021 in the same year. Without further ado, we introduce our next guest commentator, 18 bouts, former North Island Golden Glove, former South Island Golden Glove champ, national boxing champ, Manny P. Pac-Man.
Kia ora, kia ora. Hey Brent, hey Isaac, how you going? Hey man, we have got an action-packed evening, don't we?
It's going to be brilliant. Let's go down to our ring announcer to get into the next bout.
The following is a finals bout contested in the welterweight 69 kilo division. Making his way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Marion Faustino Atong.
He's got a bit of a following.
Certainly does.
Also making his way to the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Toheriri-Hallett.
Again, we've got another matchup, one orthodox, one southpaw.
Now, if you haven't been following this tournament, this is a pay-per-view show-stopping event. Marion, Tawhiri, such a stylistic, beautiful
Red
matchup.
corner, Marion Faustino Atong. Blue corner, Toheriri-Hallett. Your referee, Tau Lombu.
Tell you what, I enjoyed Marion on Tom.
Well, I hope so, but Pac-Man, you'll be watching this fight too, because this is close to your weight division, isn't it?
This is exactly right, mate. Yeah, so obviously Tawhiri there had the walkover yesterday, so he should be coming out shooting. So it will be interesting to see with Marion there as well. He's got a very interesting style. He sort of sits back a little bit, and he's got really, really good head and shoulder movement. So with the taller Tawhiri there, well, they're about the same height there. So with the taller, a little bit there slightly with Tawhiri, I think he'll sit back and just let his hands roll.
In saying that, though, Tawhiri's a very long, slick, rangy boxer. I don't think he's going to make it easy for Marion.
Not at all. So both these boys, again, we're into the weight division.
Just as we say that, though, it's interesting too.
Sorry.
When you see a shorter, taller boxer, and the taller sometimes crouch down to meet the shorter boxer. I would actually like to use my range if I was the taller fighter. I don't know why that happens.
Yeah, I think they just sort of get pulled in and just into the action a little bit, and I think they'll sort of reset as they go. But you're right, a few of the boxers tonight have been sort of pulled into those shorter boxers.
Well, Toheriri has a slight height advantage, 182 up against 178. Not much in it. But Marion, of course, is a Samoa national champ, Olympic finalist, and a youth Commonwealth Games. So, you know, a little bit of international experience as well.
Interesting to see too as well. Look, Marion's very slick, very dynamic. Tawhiri, quite a robust walk forward. Well, not even a walk forward, just a dynamic boxer. So we've got such interesting stylistic matchups here.
And it's quite interesting to see, Isaac, both fighters here have sort of started the round off a little bit slower than some of the other bouts we've seen this afternoon and evening, but they seem to be picking up now.
Well, you've been with us for a few days now. Have you been enjoying it as much as we have?
Oh, I've been loving it. This is great, and I think we're so lucky to have another one later in the year as well.
Like you said, though, they have started off a little bit slower. It is 3-3s. This is for the New Zealand title at 69 kilograms. Some would have thought these two wouldn't have met in the final, but just so happen to be that they are, and someone is going to walk away the New Zealand national champ.
And it's quite interesting to see Marion in his last two bouts. He started off a little bit busier, but I think he's just finding his feet here with young Tawhiri, and I think it's starting to get a little bit more into it now.
Marion being the southpaw, Tawhiri there is orthodox, and always makes it a little bit harder too. We'll talk about that a lot over the tournament. Southpaw coming out with the right, they jab with their right, their power shots their left. Sometimes they switch hit. Orthodox might want to switch hit as well.
And Tawhiri's really using his jab effectively there. He's just staying just out of range and exchanging when he needs to.
Very quick though. I mean, even though Marion is the shorter of the two, he's very dynamic, good parries, very speedy. Not letting Tawhiri get to inside with those long-range jabs. But Tawhiri should be using that reach a little bit better. Should be coming forward. He should be utilising that, because when they stood up, you know, chest to chest, Tawhiri was much a taller fighter.
Too right, and I think, you know, Tawhiri, he's throwing out a nice jab there, a nice big combo there, but I'd like to see him throw a little double jab out as well. He's getting to Marion, but I think if he just threw a few more when he's in there and then got out, he'd be a little bit more effective.
Look at him shaking that right, getting ready to unleash. Good round, super tight, not even going to call that.
Oh, you're not sitting on the fence.
Where's Marion? He's going to flip the coin.
Doing.
I've heard this all afternoon from Isaac.
Oh.
Benji, what? You tell us what you think. Who knows what this result is for the first round? What do you guys think? Come on, I'm not going to call it.
No, I'm going to go. I'm sitting 50-50 at that point. There you go.
I'm sitting 50-50 too. That was too tight to call.
Flip the coin. I don't even have any coins in my wallet.
No, there's not many people carry cash nowadays. It's pretty much zip zap, you're out.
Marion.
Unless you've got young children and they find your wallet or your pockets before you sort of get a chance, but I'm well past those days. You don't have to nod so quickly.
Oh, Vinny P was talking about that earlier. Flip a coin. Let's talk about it. Round two. Who's going to walk away, champ? Look, I want to see Tawhiri come out, use that range, not crouch down, just stand a little bit taller, keep Marion at bay. He's got the reach, he's got the distance. He needs to keep that dynamic fighter away. But maybe that's, you know, the skill set of Marion. He's beautiful at closing that down, playing someone into his game.
And when you've watched the last two bouts of Marion, he's a bit more of a, I guess, counter boxer. So he seems to be more of the aggressor in this bout, which is different from what we've seen in the last two bouts.
Just a slip.
It's always tricky too when you've got a southpaw that is the way that Marlon is. It's quite dynamic. Comes forward. He's a counter puncher and he's southpaw. Absolute nightmare.
But Tawhiri's doing the right thing. He's moving away from Marion's left hand there, which is his stronger hand, obviously. So he's just getting on the outside there as he can, and it's proving to be a little bit troubling for Marion there.
Good, as you just said, he needs, just as you said, he's jabbing. He needs to move left a bit more. A couple more jabs, move to the left. Jab, jab, jab. Good getting out of the reach there of that shot from Marion. Again, starting to utilise that distance.
Too right, and both boxers are really moving their feet well. They're just staying out of range, and then they're happy to exchange and get out.
How good, though, is Marion too at getting out of the way of those long shots? At times, the shorter fighter isn't so good at getting away from the longer fighter.
Too right, and just again, as to say that Tawhiri's finding his range, but I'd really like to see him be a little bit busy as he gets in. I think he's a little bit weary as well of Marion's strength there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Samoan champ or, finalist as he is, he's got the power. He might not look like he's got big muscle, but once they get in there and they can throw, and they've been training like they have, these shots hurt.
Oh, they do hurt in there. They really do.
And at 69 kilograms, these boys are probably walking around about 75, 76. It's a little bit of a chess match, though. I mean, unlike some of the early fights we saw, that 1.5 minute rounds, they came out guns blazing. This is a bit more technical.
Yeah, I think both boxers are really, really just a little bit more wary of each other compared to what we saw in the last bout. They were just going how?
2 minutes down, 1 minute to go. Someone will walk away victorious. New Zealand champ, hey, they might even meet each other again near the end of the year, but tonight is where they will be crowned the 2020 champ. 43 to go. Bit of a chess match still. Both anticipating each other's shots. Big shot there from Marion, landing
nice one
on the chin of Tawhiri.
And it seems to be that Marion's sort of he's finding his range now a little bit more, and he's picking up the pace. And I think that right hand or left hand of his will find the chin of Tawhiri if he can get him close.
Well, Mario sort of did put that head back, didn't he? And he sort of just came forward, boom, stepped into it again. He has that dynamic speed too. He's able to counter punch even when he's stepping back.
On the back foot, yeah.
Well, the thing is, you barely even saw that punch. 1-2, right through it back, and he'd already got his right back. It's so quick, almost like Bruce Lee. We couldn't capture the frames. How quick he was. Yeah, and another really close round again, but I think I'd edge that one to Tawhiri in the blue. I think he scored a few more punches there, but I think Marion will pick it up a lot in this third round. I'm going to beg to differ here. I'm going to say it's one apiece. I think it's one apiece. And I think there's a few back home that would hopefully agree with me on that one. What about you, Brent? Do you agree on that, or do you think it's 2-1?
I'm just going to go to
2-0.
I'm just going to go to Resine and buy some white paint for you to paint your picket fence.
A couple of cups of tea there.
You're doing the sort of the Bruce Lee sort of wipe on, wipe off sort of that angle, and now you're sort of not making decisions. So, I mean, let's go for it.
But both boxers are putting on a great performance here.
Oh, look, it's well worthy of a New Zealand final here. Marion, Tawhiri. This is the money round, as they say.
I mean, boxing enthusiasts have got to have enjoyed the last 4 days. Of course, we've done something like 105 bouts over that time. Just today, of course, 24. So you can see these boxers have been giving it their all here at the Rapraha Arena in Porirua City.
Yeah, just let's comment on the way that they're waving the gloves at the moment. Now, with Marion doing that, is he's trying to pour down the glove, the guard of it. He's trying to parry, but he's trying to break the guard there so he can throw something through.
If you look at the speed, he did both the right hand and the left hand. He started with the right and then didn't connect, but he had that left hand coming straight over the top.
And it's quite good what Marion is doing there with the taller boxer. It just helps him find his range. He's a touch closer as well. He can use it as a parry, and he can use it just like that, throw a nice little 1-2 and get closer to Tawhiri.
This just goes to show how good Marion really is, because he is a shorter, he is a southpaw, but he's making it hard for the tall fighter.
And look at Tawhiri. He's had a fight plan coming in here, and I think he's executing it pretty well. He's keeping his distance, he's picking his shots, and that's providing trouble, but I think Marion's starting to get a little bit closer now.
Easy
Nice
for us,
one.
though, to comment on the outside. You know, do this, do that. But when you're in there, you're calculating things 100 miles a minute.
Have you noticed also that both of their stances have increased? So they're getting to themselves at the same height level. Neither one of them is actually trying to take any height advantage. They're both almost the same.
We said that at the start, and it's quite interesting that Tarford's doing that because he is the taller of the two. Whether he wants to load up on a power shot and that's why he's doing that, or he's getting sucked into Marion's game.
And both boxers here are happy to have their hands a little bit lower and make the other miss.
Look at that. Bob Wees throw that shot out. This is an amazing display of boxing.
Just on a minute to go in this third and final round of bout number 10. Both boys wanting this one again, like every other boxer preceding them, of course. But
how can you not love the style of both these fighters? They're both starting to get a bit comfortable. They look like they go a few more rounds. They're starting to get into
Marion's
the zone.
enjoying this one.
yeah, his hands are very low, but he had that. Trying to work out whether they're attempting a different form of sign language.
Well, it looks like that, but this is a beautiful display of boxing. The head movement, the jabs, those rights.
And it just goes to show Marion's speed. He's happy to have his hands down and free up the shoulders to move and miss those shots from Tawhiri, and he's quick as anything.
And the way he waves each hand, just one's ready to go any single time. It may look a little bit kind of crazy and wild, but he can throw one at any single angle.
Here we go now for the final 10 seconds as the clap is being given. What are these boxers going to do? Oh, he was very lucky to walk away from that.
Both boys thrown down. I was looking forward to another 10, unlike the clock there on the screen. What a round that was. I wouldn't mind seeing another one, guys.
Oh, I agree with you. I think they started to warm up there in that last round, but I think it's a very, very close bout. Too close to call for me.
Yeah, I think it will be a split decision.
I'm going to call that in favour of Marion.
Yeah, we'll do the same. I've been wrong so often this week. Never mind. So, just getting the scorecard in. We'll just get the signal from the voice of the national boxing for this event. The one, the only. Go on then, Vinny P.
VIP.
There he is, the handsome guy on the screen.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Marion Faustino Artong. Presenting the medals is Jeff Kenny. Jeff is one of our sponsors for the national championships here in Porirua. Boxed for 10 years, is a past president of the Central North Island Association and has been involved in organising 3 national championships in Rotorua.
No, fantastic fight. Like so many of them we've seen today. In fact, the capital of the boxing.
Marion Tong, what a champ. Came through, super dynamic fighter, boxer. Well deserved.
Yeah, well, the thing with the boys, when you've got 2 boxers of similar skill levels, you know, it really becomes very, very difficult. I mean, sitting here and the action is fast. We're not, you know, that close to the ring, but you'll see the speed of these guys both getting in, as you can see in the replay here. You know, the speed in which they get in, get the shot in, get away from trouble. Then, if it's not them doing it, their opponent's jumping and doing exactly the same thing.
That's right, and I think Marion's got a target on his back now. I think Tawhiri will be training hard over the next few months, and he'll be coming back.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, so we've seen a bit of a trend though with the people that fought and didn't go straight for the final winning.
Yeah. So we're getting ready, of course, we're going to get the next lot, but you can see we've got 3 more bouts to go, and this is the one that I personally have been really looking forward to, is Emil Richardson up against Ryan Scaife.
We should put a pay-per-view on this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Should be charging $50.
And your next one you love, this is the one you want to see.
Ryan Scaife, the real deal, Emil, come on. This is a $100 pay-per-view.
All right, well, let's get down to our ring announcer and welcome our next 2 fighters.
The following is a finals bout contested in the middleweight 75 kilo division. Making his way to the ring Fighting out of the red corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, Ryan Scaife. Fighting out of the blue corner, also making his way to the ring, representing Manawatu Boxing Association, Emil Richardson.
Again, one of the fights that I have been looking forward to ever since we found out who was up against each other. Ryan the Lion Scaife.
For those watching back home, how can you not be excited about this? Put your drinks down, put your popcorn down, watch this fight. 3 threes. We're going to see New Zealand champ.
Can't you do two things at once? Eat popcorn and scream at the TV?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm a mere male. I can only do one thing at a time.
Of course, Ryan Scaife has had 10 national titles, 6 age group, 4 senior, Oceania gold medal, golden glove. Where do you stop? 11 times champion. Up against an Australasian Super 8 champion and 2-time Golden Gloves champion, Emil Richardson.
Lenny P, Brent, so happy to be here with you tonight for this one. What a fight. We're going to see some boxing finesse as these boys throw down. Someone's going to come out champ. Emil there on the blue, Ryan in the red. On paper, Ryan has got a bit more experience, but Emil didn't get through to the finals for nothing.
No, the Lion Scaife, he, as I say, he hasn't won that many titles, being sort of silly. He gauges what he needs to do.
We saw Emil too, Ryan fight the very tricky Tofor yesterday. Tofor landed a few on him. Didn't make him, well, it did make him work for it. But he came through with the win. He shut down that style, just showing his boxing skill.
Now, if memory serves me right, Emil Richardson was the next fight straight after that one. So you sort of get an idea of gauging how the boxers were.
Yeah, Emil's certainly a tricky fighter too, and this is well worthy of the final. This is the best of the best at the 75 kilogram weight division in New Zealand.
Nice wee combo there from Ryan. He's starting to warm up. And you can just see Ryan's happy to take control of the ring down the centre and just track Emil down. But Emil seems to be quite comfortable to just sort of shift around and exchange when he has to.
Both boys, Emil having about 20-odd, 25 fights. Ryan around 50. Still notable experience in both. Ryan slightly more experienced of the both, but what we've seen so far is that sometimes doesn't mean anything when they get in there and jump under the lights.
And it's quite interesting to see Ryan there. He's pretty happy to just sort of put the weight on his back foot there and sort of just come in and then come out, where Emil is sort of putting a little bit more weight on that front foot and throwing a few more punches when he's up close.
What was quite interesting too is yesterday Ryan fought the crazy sort of unorthodox style of Talfa, but Emil's a bit more structured. He's a bit more of a boxer, so let's see how he goes against Ryan tonight.
That's right. They've got two similar styles. Where I think Tofa yesterday he was happy to sort of roll the shoulders, move around a little bit, and I think Ryan stands up straight. He's got a good stance on him, and I think Emil's sort of matching there at the moment.
Hard one to call, but no one's edging forward too much at the moment. It's a bit quite, it's slightly contested. They're still feeling each other out. Emil's starting to walk him down a little bit near the end of the round, but I wouldn't say that it's too one-sided at all. Fairly even in my eyes.
Yeah, I can agree. I think there's a good bout. I think both boxers have really felt each other out. And I think the second round, they're going to really let it go.
Those two, when you go to the AIBA judges style or the decision-making here, they've got a clicker down there. So it's not written down. It's not via round. They're clicking per red, per blue, per punch is landed. So it's all good for us watching it back here, but it's how it's actually being scored down there that makes a decision. Billy Meehan there talking to Emil. Wonder what he'd be saying. I'd love the mic to be in there right now.
Oh, I'd love to hear what the coaches are saying, obviously, but from up here. I mean, both boxers are putting on a really, really good performance so far. Are you going to call that round or?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm going to do it, Lawrence, and flip the coin.
Good stuff.
But it's a great fight. You know, Ryan, so experienced. Emil, this is so worthy of a national championship bout. And we're going to see now. We've got 2 more rounds to go. Both boys sorted out relatively conservative, but rightly so because of the calibre of their style. Ryan there in the red, Emil there in the blue. Thanks to all those watching back home. Just turned him around there. Thought he was going to follow up the right, but he didn't. Both boys at times conserving their shots, which I'm quite surprised at. They're not unleashing. Probably still a little bit hesitant, wary of each other.
Ryan's doing a little bit more chasing now on Emil. He's sort of trying to corner in. Nice exchange there.
That's the thing too about these 3-3s and this level. They don't just unleash, they don't just stand in the middle and throw hooks. They're going to box it out. They're going to try to figure out what works, what doesn't. It's going to be a very technical bout.
And it's quite interesting to see Ryan's starting to work the body of Emil a little bit more. Emil's throwing straight to their head, but Ryan's going up and down, which he's quite good at it.
Just Ryan starting to go underneath those shots. Nice body shot, overhand right, landed on the head of Emil. Starting to find his way here, find his rhythm.
I think he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable, but I mean, Emil's he's walking Ryan down. He's not afraid to bring the fight to Ryan as well.
Just as you see that though, he did take one on the chin. I would say Ryan will be clipping a few more points, putting scores on doors with those shots.
Nice little 1-2 there from Emil.
The timing too of Ryan, as he walks forward, he puts that shot out and then gets out of the way of whatever Emil can throw.
And you can just show the experience of Ryan that he'll come in an exchange and then he'll come back out and he'll go straight back to the jab and he'll be happy to throw that for a few as well.
Those watching back home, 2 minutes down, 1 minute to go. This is for the national championship title, 75 kilograms here on Sky Sport Next. I hope you're all enjoying that back home.
And of course they are watching on Channel 9 at Sky Sport. Down here in Wharerau for the last 3 bouts that we're going to be experiencing for the championship. You know, the cool thing about it, guys, is this is all going to happen again later in the year, of course. These are the 2020 nationals due to COVID. Had to be delayed and pushed out to this time. But there's still the 2021 championship has got to be contested yet. So a lot of these boxers, of course, will be eyeing themselves up. Either they're going to go up a weight division and be ready to go again.
Wow. How often can you say if someone does win twice that you won a 20 and 21 championship in 1 year?
In one calendar year. 5 seconds to go now. Round 2. Ryan Scaife, Emil Richardson.
Little hop and skip there from Ryan, but
hey, Emil is not letting himself or his corner down at all.
I just see Ryan slightly edging forward here. I'd love to see a bit more aggression. I just want to see them put a bit of nos under those shots, go forward, turn it up, but this is a very technical bout. These boys have fought twice over the last couple of days, so easier said than done for us watching back in the seats here.
That's right, and just looking at the replay here, you know, both boxers are really coming in to meet each other. I think I'd put, you know, Ryan slightly forward here, but I think Emil's really going to step it up in this round and bring it to Ryan.
Well, we have to, because I see Ryan slightly ahead on points here, and this is for the national title. Someone's going to walk away the champ. And this is the pathway. This is the pathway to the Commonwealth Games, the Olympics, and then who knows what after that.
And that's right, and it really will mean a lot to the boys here.
Ryan, though, from a very large boxing pedigree.
Nice 2 jabs there from Emil.
Both boys now meeting in the centre of the ring. Emil starting to charge forward now, but Ryan still holding his own, slightly bringing the aggression every single time. I see him edging forward on the points. just showing that experience now, putting Emil in deep water.
And just as you said there, he landed a nice 1-2 there on the chin of Emil. Nice jab there again from Ryan. He's really stepping up and finding his range now.
Emil just threw an overhand right there, just went slightly away. Ryan really finding his rhythm as he comes in for these shots.
As you say, we've been watching it all weekend, and the thing being is that Ryan, yeah, he's got the things on paper in previous bouts and the likes, but Emil Richardson is not intimidated in any way, shape or form.
No, and he's happy to exchange in the middle there with Ryan as well. I think if he just sits back up and puts his hammer down and throws that jab out a little bit more, I think he'll find his chin on the chin of Ryan there.
Of course, Ryan, the Lion Scaife, boxing out of the Wellington region, and a Hiratonga gym.
The Lion versus the real deal, just under 120 to go. Now, if I was in the corner now of the real deal, I would be screaming, come on, bring this home, let's go. Do you want this New Zealand title? Just Ryan walking him down, Ryan the Lion, certainly living up to that name.
Oh, absolutely. Taking it, no prisoners whatsoever.
Looping left shot there from Lion Ryan, just missing Emil, landing overhand.
Nice jab there from Ryan.
Both boys meeting straight in the middle. 40 to go. This is an absolute war. Big shot there from Emil. Walking forward now, 30 seconds to go.
It's quite interesting to see, Isaac. Both fighters are taking turns of walking each other down. Emil had his wee go there, and Ryan's now saying, oh, I'm going to have a go as well.
Oh,
Coming forward.
lovely left and right. Oh, and straight on the nozzle.
Just as you said it, Brendan, it's almost like you call these shots. Every time you call that, they land another. 10 seconds. Good finish there from Emil. Great work rate though from Ryan, the whole single time. Let's go to the judges. What are you guys' thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think Ryan's just edged Emil here. I think Ryan started out a little bit busier, but I think Emil did absolutely wonderful there as well.
Judges have made their decision, and we'll head down to Vinny P to get the announcement. He's just getting it clarified, make sure everything's right. Boxers getting themselves into position. Hey, look who, this is going to be fun. Look who's presenting the medals.
There we go, David.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, Ryan Scaife.
Good display there too from the real deal.
Presenting the medals needs no introduction, however, it's David Naika, who was a 2 times Commonwealth Games gold medalist, 2 times Jameson Bout winner, and has qualified for the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo.
What a display. And you could see there too, real deal being the man himself knew.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Put your hands together once more for the 2 boxers and David.
All right, we've got a couple of more bouts to go, and we've just about finished our program for the night, so we'll jump straight down because the boxers are ready to go. Vinny, all yours.
Boxers ready. The following is a finals bout contested in the light heavyweight 81 kilo division. Making his way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Jerome Pampalone. And fighting out of the blue corner, also making his way to the ring, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Josiah Perellini.
Here we go now, ready for the second final of the night. Co-main event, Jerome Pampalone against Josiah in the blue corner. What a showdown this is going to be, Manny P.
Oh, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm really excited to see you and Isaac. I know you've been looking forward to this one all day, so here it is.
I certainly have. 3 threes, Jerome Pampalone there in the red, Josiah in the blue. This is going to be an absolute showdown. I bet everybody's loving this back home. We want to welcome you, whether you're in Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington. This is on Sky Sport 9, Sky Sport Next. We want to welcome everyone watching around the world. This is for the New Zealand National Championship. Paul McSharry there ringside. 3 threes. As we get ready now, Jerome likes to start hard and fast. Looks how he comes out against Josiah there in the blue.
And it's quite interesting to see. So both boxers have got that orthodox stance. So it's going to be very evenly matched there. And I think there's a bit of a similar height there. From up here, it looks like they are similar height. So it'll be interesting to see how these boxers exchange.
Jerome Pampalone, 2020 Central North Island champ, 2019 North Island Golden Glove champ. And he is a 2-time current reigning defending New Zealand champ. So Jerome Pampalone certainly got the accolade here tonight, but take nothing away from Josiah. He's a 2-time Canterbury champ, so we've got the North versus South here tonight.
And that's a big one. That'll mean a lot to these boys here.
Look at the way Jerome's already started to take dominance, walk forward, starting to walk him down. Josiah's not going to put up that though, putting out a couple of jabs.
And Josiah seems to be moving around a little bit more than Jerome. Jerome is really happy to sort of walk him down and pick his shots.
We talked about it earlier too. You want to take ring dominance from the get-go, and that can help you. You know, you win 2 rounds and you can relax in the third, or you can take it straight home. What are your thoughts so far on what Jerome's doing? Yeah, I think Jerome's doing the right thing. I think Josiah as well is sticking to his game plan. He's moving around. He's making it hard for Jerome to get to him. But obviously, from up here, it looks different. The judges like to see the aggressor from the start, but sometimes they also like to see who's moving, who's making it hard for the other opponent, and who's landing more shots, obviously. The beauty about this fight, too, is that both guys are similar heights, similar body types. It's not like you've got a tall, lanky, rangy fighter against a short, stocky guy. Both guys are just exact same height, similar style, so they've both got to work for it. Yeah, and just as you say that there, Jerome landed a nice little combination there on Josiah, but it didn't really back Josiah up. He's happy to sort of stand there and exchange punches there with Jerome. I love the way Jerome walks forward. He's got that right hand high, then he holds that left out, but he starts walking back. He's so creative. He's almost like it's sort of like stalking his prey in a sense, you know. He's quite creative. He's ready to pounce any single time like a panther. That's right, and he's got that sort of similar style to Marion in that earlier bouts where he's happy to have his hands or his left hand a little bit lower and just to parry or throw it out, and he's fast as anything. He's really fast. The reason I say that too is because Josiah holds his guard quite orthodox, you know. He holds 2 hands up, but he just launched one right. But look at Jerome, one right hand up, the left hand slightly low, just ready to pounce. And it works quite well having that hand a little bit lower to sort of show a half guard, so it frees up the shoulders, allows him to move out of the shots of Josiah there. Nice right hand there from Josiah though. Paul McSharry in the ring there, calling all the shots. Very experienced ref. Nice little shot there from Jerome Pampalone. Just about to have that 10-second counter. I can't believe this one's almost over. Yeah, I know. It's just been quick. So action-packed. Certainly has. Jerome Pampalone there in the red. Josiah in the blue. What a matchup this is. This is for the national New Zealand title at 81 kilograms, light heavyweight title. Both boys sitting down now. What a round that was. I'm not even going to try to score that, but for those watching at home, I hope you're enjoying the action. Brought to you by Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 9 with tonight Isaac Savage and Manny P, aka Pac-Man. Looking forward to you fighting later on this year and maybe commentating on you in the ring from up here. Yeah, so I'll be training for most of this year now, but I'm hoping to get to the Golden Gloves and Nationals in October, which we're really lucky to see in Wanganui, I believe. Speaking of that too, look at the action here. Josiah throws a few, but as we said, Jerome likes to walk forward, stalk, hunt that prey, hold that right guard high and pop off with that left.
And I'll be really interested to see what they're telling Josiah in that corner there. I think Jerome's really playing out his game plan well, and I think if Josiah gets a little bit busier and gets a little bit closer, he's going to have a little bit more success. What do you think?
I'd agree on that, but sometimes what I say goes completely out the window when it comes to the judge's decision as we get ready now for round 2. Crowd certainly getting behind it, and I bet all those at home are getting behind it too. Big shout out to Benji Watt and all those watching in Auckland. Love your work as these boys throw down now. Jerome Pamplin holding that guard high.
Josiah seemed to sort of start this round a little bit stronger, and he's thrown a little bit more early on. Interesting to see if he keeps this up.
Very stylistic matchup, but in a sense too, very similar styles. Jerome, such a walk-forward aggressive style fighter. Just walking down Josiah at the stage. Josiah really having to work for it to get those points.
And I was just watching Josiah there. He's also got a similar stance there to Jerome as well. He's starting to drop that left hand a little bit and just let it go when he needs to.
Well, that's the thing. He just, he's got that sort of shell approach. Holds that right up, moved out of the way of the shots. He's making Josiah work for it. Good little shoulder guard or shoulder roll there from Josiah though. And make no mistake, Josiah, he's no slouch. He's a 2-time Canterbury champ, 2012 South Island novice champ, and 2012 New Zealand national champ. So he's been there, done it, the same as first rodeo.
I'm really liking Jerome's movement here. He's planted his back foot and he's just rolling his hips and his shoulders, and he's just making Josiah miss by just millimetres.
Saying that, just as we talk up Jerome, Josiah comes forward now, showing why he is here. This is the New Zealand national title, and he's proving a point that I ain't going to go down without a fight. I'm going to bring it to you, Jerome Pamplin. Big right landing there on the chin, making it hard for him. Coming forward now. Both boys thrown down. 2 minutes down, 1 minute to go.
Just missing there with that left there from Josiah.
Can't ask more for a final. Jerome Pamplin, Josiah, North versus South. What a showdown. Get that guard up, Josiah. Jerome will capitalise on that if he gets the chance.
But it's interesting you say that, as Josiah, he's still got that speed. Even later into the second round, he's still got that speed there.
Beautiful shot there from Jerome.
Big shot from Jerome.
I think Jerome likes being thrown in deep water too. He's like a wounded tiger. Coming forward now, 1-2 left body rip, right body rip. Paul McSherry comes in. He's seen enough. He's going to do a count.
I think that was the right decision there from the ref.
As much as we love to see the action, the thrills and spills, it's all health and safety here tonight. And that was a very good call there from Mr. McSherry. Had a few fights himself. I think it was over 100. So he certainly knows what he's talking about. He loves the action. Here we go now to a replay. Let's go. See that body shot just thrown out of nowhere. Josiah comes forward now, but everything he throws, Jerome meets him and counters it back.
That's right, and I'm just watching this exchange here from Jerome. He's picking his shots well, and it was those two shots there that I think rocked Josiah a little bit. And as you can see, Paul was watching very, very closely up into that count.
Incredible, just as you said, rocked. He slammed one over the cranium of him, and it certainly looked like it rocked him in. We saw that in slow-mo, but Paul saw it there in real time, so great referee there from Mr. McSherry as we get ready now for the third and final round, the money round, as they say. What an entertaining fight so far.
Oh, I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this fight.
Jerome Pamplin there in the red, Auckland on his back, Josiah in the blue.
And it just goes to show Jerome's experience there. He's not rushing in. He knows he got Josiah that last round. The mouthguard's just flown out there.
They'll let it go on until the action to be stopped. They don't stop it straight away. It's too dangerous too. Now they will get that mouthguard. Trying to pick it up, but Shara will give it a quick wash. Good chance to have a quick breather. And this, at times, some would say technique, some would say I'm trying to get a breather, others would say I'm getting tired. What are your thoughts on that, Manny?
Yeah, so obviously in these later rounds, the mouth guard sort of seems to pop out sometimes as you suck in some air, but often it can get knocked out too.
Still got that Philly shell guard holding that left shoulder high. Great deflection for shots coming in from Josiah.
And I like it as well because it sort of frees up your shoulders to move a little bit, Isaac. So it's good to see that he's making use of that in his later rounds as well again.
Just goes to show why he does so well and such a natural boxer. But Josiah, former champ, bit of a headlock there, gets out of it. Sherry breaks it up.
Nice overhand right there from Jerome.
Nice body shot there from Jerome as well. Crowd are on their feet, they're going crazy. And I bet you guys are at home as well. 120 down. Who's going to walk out victorious as the New Zealand champ?
Nice little 1-2 there from Jerome.
Love the way too Jerome at times throws out uppercuts and then goes up again. Head low. Josiah looking a little bit tired now as we get down to the final clapper. 1 minute to go.
I really like how Josiah's still going back with his jab and still keeping Jerome at bay because he's obviously still got heaps of power.
We talked about boxers throwing combos that work. He threw that 1-2, that body shot, and then we threw it again and it landed. That's got to rack up the points. Beautiful technique here from Pamplona.
Oh, this will make it interesting.
Not sure what happened there.
So I believe that was a point deduction to Jerome as he dipped his head down a couple of times and had his 2 warnings from Paul, so I think he's taking a point off there.
And there you have it. Like you said, that could make things interesting as we go down now to the final 20. From what could have been a unanimous, could be a split.
And you can see it's really got Josiah going. He's really throwing his hands now, but Jerome seems to be answering.
Both boys thrown down. I want to see this go a little bit longer as they go down. 5 seconds to go. Beautiful body shot again from Jerome.
Nice 2 shots there from Josiah as well. And Jerome answers straight back.
Ten seconds now as they throw down. Who wants this more? Who's going to take it home? Jerome Pamplona or Josiah in the blue. What a fight.
What a finish from both boys.
Well, for all those watching back home on Sky Sport Next, Sky Sport 9, what a fight that was. Absolutely stunning.
Whilst we're waiting for the official result, presenting the medals will be Keith Walker. Keith is the chairman of the Boxing New Zealand, a life member of Boxing New Zealand, life member of Waikato Association, past president of Oceania Boxing Confederation, vice president AIBA from 2008 to 2014. Represented New Zealand as a referee and judge at 2 Olympic Games, represented New Zealand as technical assistant at 4 Olympic Games, Boxing New Zealand's referee and judge instructor, supervisor at New Zealand Boxing National Championships. We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Jerome Pamplona.
There you have it, your winner, New Zealand National Champ 220, Jerome Pamplona. Well deserved.
And you've got to give credit to Josiah as well. He fought really, really well against Jerome, but I think Jerome just edged him a little bit in those first 2 rounds.
Regardless of that point deduction, Jerome took it home. What a performance. Both boys well worthy of a final. We've got a new champ in town. Well, former champ as well, Jerome Pamplona, certainly taking it to Josiah tonight. What a performance, what a display of boxing we're seeing here tonight, Manny.
Oh, we're seeing some awesome boxing, and I said it earlier, I can't wait to see some of these matchups again later in the year.
The beauty of the 2020 champs is we get to see the 2021 in the same year.
I know. So a few of these boys here and girls, obviously, who have won these titles will have targets on their backs, and so I think they'll come back at the end of the year for that.
Without further ado, we're going to go down to our ring announcer, Vinny P.
Boxers ready, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the super heavyweight plus 91 kg division. Making his way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Matt McKenna. Also making his way to the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Timothy Easthope.
As we saw this fight yesterday, Timothy
Red corner,
Easthope
Matt McKenna.
coming
Blue
in
corner, Timothy Easthope. Your referee,
at around
Saul
7
Lomu.
foot high, this man.
He is a very, very, very
We said
tall.
he's 7 foot. He's about 6'6", close to Tyson Fury. Matt Taker.
He's quite tall as well, Matt, from our point here, but I think definitely Timothy is edging in there, as you can see on your screens as well from home.
Matt Mataika too, having a few rounds with David Naika earlier on. This is for the New Zealand national title at super heavyweight, 91 kilograms. Thanks to all those watching at home on Sky Sport Next, Sky 9. We've got Timothy there in the blue, Matt in the red. Who wants this? Who's going to take it home? We saw Easthope really walk Miracle Key down yesterday. Miracle Key had the power to shut him down. He didn't quite use it. Let's see if Timothy can keep Matt at bay with that reach.
And from what I've seen from Matt earlier, his sparring with David, he's a big power puncher as well. So he'll be looking to get in close and just really throw some big weighted punches.
That's what we want to see too. You know, these boys are both tipping the scales at 91 plus keg. We want to see some big shots. We want to see some knockdowns. We want to see some fireworks. Safety first, of course, though, right? We want to see some standing counts, but we do want to see some action. This is for the final. This is the last fight of the night, and we've seen some action over the last few days.
And just as you say that, Timothy's, he's stepping in. He's not afraid to exchange with Matt there in the centre and throw some bombs of his own.
Saying that too, just remember the guys that have Timothy fought yesterday, whereas Matt hasn't fought yet. So we're talking about earlier with John Mackay, David Naker. Sometimes it's better to fight once before the final. Would you agree on that, Manny?
Yeah, I think I prefer fighting before the final as well. You sort of warm up, you get the feel of the place, and I think both boxers could agree almost. You sort of want to earn your spot there as well. And I think Matt is, he'll be finding his feet now, finding his range, and I think Timothy's, he's there with having a bout already.
Height though here of Timothy so far. He's about 6'8", 6'6", and Matt's no small man himself, but he certainly towers over him. Low guard there from Matt. I want to see him come forward now, be a bit more aggressive, throw some overhands. Just close that guard there of Timothy Easthope.
I think Timothy's doing quite well. He's got the length there a little bit, and he's throwing his jab out, but just as I say that, Matt is not afraid to come in there and get busy.
Both boys too tipping the scales at 91 plus keg, walking around at over 100. Big boys, every single shot counts. Matt ranked 6th in New Zealand representing South Island boxing. Timothy is ranked 5th representing Central North Island. So bragging rights on the line here. There's that throw down, 30 to go.
Almost a fall there from Matt, but turning around and getting straight back into it.
Referee Todd breaking them up, telling them to go back to it. Relatively conservative here for heavyweights, but we will see some fireworks as this goes into the latter rounds.
Just as you say that, a nice right hand there from Matt. Again, he's just happy to throw that over the top of Timothy's jab.
The thing too is what Tim will be finding the big difference between yesterday is that Matt is much more busy than Miracle Keys, making it hard for him. He's coming forward. He's actually got dangerous shots, so this is well worthy of a final. Low guard, but very explosive.
And I've been watching Matt in that round as well. He sort of seems to lunge in a little bit, and then he'll just be out and duck his head down and miss those shots from Timothy as he comes back in.
Cam there in the corner. giving words to Matt.
What would you be saying to Timothy here in his corner? Obviously that was a pretty tight round as well. I think, both boxers were pretty busy in that first round. What would you be saying?
Stick and move. 1-1-2. Double jab right. Keep moving to the left. Keep this big man away from you, because Matt's got the power. He could take him out at any moment. He's not utilising that, though. Becoming a bit more aggressively if I was Matt.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think in the red corner they'll be telling Matt just to sort of get in closer, keep throwing those punches, and I think I would agree with you there. In Timothy's corner, they'll be just like, throw that jab, throw those ones, throw those twos, and keep Matt at bay.
That's how Tim won his fight the other day, and Miracle Kai or Key had everything in his arsenal to take him out. He just couldn't quite do it. But it just goes to show styles make fights, and Timothy is I wouldn't say struggling here with Matt, but Matt's making it a little bit harder for him than his last opponent.
Yeah, and I think with Matt, having his first fight here as well, he's doing quite well. He's adapting pretty well, but Timothy's picking him off a little bit. But I think Matt's starting to bring the fight a little bit more. As you can see him stalking down Timothy there in the ring. But I think Timothy, from the advice from the corner, I'd imagine, is just sort of take a step back, counter punch. You've got the length there.
These are 3-3-minute rounds. This is the second round now for the New Zealand national title at 91 plus kegs. This has been an amazing tournament brought to you by Sky Sport Next, Sky Sport 9. We welcome all of you watching back home. Matt there in the red, Timothy in the blue. 1 minute down, 2 minutes to go. Just want to see a little bit more now from Matt. He's probably getting outpointed by Timothy just because of that long reach. Those jabs will be finding a home and putting scores on doors.
Yeah, I agree. I think Timothy's doing really well with this round, picking Matt apart a little bit. But as you can see, Matt's he's coming out firing. He's trying to get as close as he can to Timothy there.
Just to you just saw the guard there. Just his hands were at his hips, and I wouldn't be recommending that in the 91 plus division. You drop your guard that low, you could get rocked any minute.
Yeah, and I think as we saw earlier, if you drop your guard, it can cost you pretty badly.
Tim coming forward now, still using that range. Matt coming forward a bit more. I want to see the guys pull the trigger, put the foot on the gas. This is for the title. This is for the New Zealand Nationals. Tim has fought. This is Matt's first fight. Let's see who wants this more. Who wants to go through and take home the New Zealand title?
Well, it's quite interesting. I think Matt was stalking Timothy down a little bit earlier in this round, but Timothy's answered, and he's coming straight back onto Matt.
Both boys squaring up now. Matt throwing a few of his own. Tim walking him into the corner again. Toa breaking him up. Both boys going back to it. 30 seconds to go.
And you can see Matt's guard is just dropping a little bit down there, so he might be getting clipped just at the top of the head, because those jabs from Timothy will definitely reach him with that range.
Just under 18 seconds to go now. Both boys, the gas tank seems like it's getting relatively low. I want to see a bit more action. Tim, just as I said, that's starting to throw down. Edge up on those scorecards.
Oh, big shot there from Timothy. I think Timothy did really well in that round there. I think he really brought the fight again back to Matt, used his reach, used his length, and he was finding his target.
Let's go to replay now. Beautiful left shot there as they tied up against the ropes. Using that reach, both boys connecting at the same time. Nice shot there from Matt. Keeping out of the way of those shots. Toa watching intently. Let's go now for the third and final. If you were to score this many, what would you call it?
I think it's really, really hard to call. I think I'd say Timothy maybe in that second round. I think he edged it a little bit forward. I had Matt in that first round because he was a little bit busier. He was landing a few more shots, so I'm going to go split decision at this point.
Split decision.
What about you? What do you think?
Oh, I'm going to flip a coin.
You said that way too much today.
As we get ready now for round 3, we just want to welcome all you back home. I hope you've enjoyed the last 3-4 days of boxing. We certainly have here on Sky Sport Next, Sky 9, Isaac Savage, Manny P, as we call the last round here. Matt in the red, and Timothy Easthope there in the blue gloves. This is for the national title at 91 plus kilograms. Super heavyweight. Both boys tying up in the corner now. Toa breaking up the action. Giving the count, say, let's go, boys. Put the action on. Nice jab there from Tim.
And then Matt answers with a nice right hand over top of that jab.
All those back home will be screaming in support there for Matt out of South Auckland Boxing. Currently ranked 6th in New Zealand against Tim, who's 5th in New Zealand, representing the Central North Island. Just under 2 minutes to go, 1 minute down. Let's go, boys. This is for the New Zealand national title. Nice shots there from Tim. They're just in their grapple now, top, breaking them up again.
And I think that these boys are starting to get a little bit tired. Obviously, they've been busy in those first 2 rounds as well, and it's starting to get a little bit hard.
Well, let's just remember too, Tim fought the other day against a very tough challenger, Miracle Key. Matt just pushing him down there, a bit of a sprawl to say MMA, let's go boxing. 1 1/4 down, just under a minute to go for the New Zealand national title.
And if you look there, both of their left handers now, they've really adopted a similar style. Their left hand is dropping a little bit, it's taking a little bit of a weight off their shoulders, and they're freeing them up with a bit of movement, but they're still throwing that jab out, which is quite good to see.
Just under 50 to go now. Matt throwing out that jab, the crowd going crazy. We're hearing a few screams and support here for Matt from South Auckland. Tim throwing down as well, using that reach. He's certainly the longer fighter of the two, keeping him at bay. Matt needs to come in more now, be a bit more dangerous to take this fight.
I think Timothy's, he seems to be rushing a little bit there to put everything he can onto Matt. If he just steps back a little bit, picks his shot like he was doing in maybe those earlier rounds, I think he'd be a little bit more effective.
Toll breaking up the action again, 15 down. Both boys thrown down. They are relatively tired, but they're still thrown down right till the very end as we get ready now for the 10-second clapper. This is for the New Zealand national title plus 91 kilogram super heavyweight. They threw down till the end. Big boys. We've got to remember, watching back home, one of these shots would certainly lift you or me off the ground, wouldn't it, Manny?
I think so. There'll be some big shots from those boys there.
Tim Easthope there in the blue against Matt Taker there in the red, representing South Auckland, Central North Island for Timothy, or Central North Island for Tim there in the blue.
No introduction, Michael Kenny, a 6-time New Zealand champion, 3-time Oceania gold medalist, a Commonwealth Games gold medalist, Commonwealth Champs gold medalist, and a past Wellington Hutt Valley boxer.
As we get ready now for the judges' decision. Hard one to judge. I'm not even going to try to score this myself. I'm not even going to ask you, man. I'm going to leave it to the judges and all those watching back home as we get ready now to Vinny P.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision, 3-2. In the red corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Matt Mataika.
Wow, there you have it. South Auckland, Matt Mataika takes out the New Zealand National Championship. 3-2 split decision, so 3 judges in favour of him, 2 in favour of Tim. He walks away victorious as a New Zealand champ.
Thank you, Michael Kenny. Ladies and gentlemen, please continue to put your hands together for both boxers. That was the final bout, so I ask you to continue that applause for all boxers. And we're going to be shortly heading over to a ringside presentation. Bear with us, please.
What a performance that was. What a win. We have a new national champ. That's Matt Mataika from South Auckland. What a performance. Hey, he didn't make it easy for him. Tim Easthope, the tall, rangy fighter of the both, but in the judge's eyes, Matt did enough. What are your thoughts, Manny P?
Yeah, and I'm really going to be interested to see how they go again later this year in the Nationals. I think both boys did really, really well there, and obviously Matt edged him this time.
Without further ado, we go ringside to Brent Pity.
Well, it's been an absolutely stunning 4 days of boxing here at the Nationals. And I'll tell you what, I think Steve Hartley, of course, is right beside me. Steve, you've got to be stoked, mate.
Absolutely thrilled. You know, I must put out a big thank you to the Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association. This has been an amazing venue, an amazing organisation. To all the people that have come to this tournament and supported it, thank you very much. And especially to the competitors in our wonderful sport. Thanks, you guys. This is your sport. And Sport New Zealand, wherever you are, have a look at our sport.
And over 140 odd boxers took part in this whole weekend here, and it was brought to you by Sky Sport Next. And today, of course, we had it with Sky 9, Channel 9. So for all of the boxing enthusiasts around New Zealand, and of course acknowledging those that have followed us from around the world, I'd like to say a very good evening and see you at the next Nationals in Wanganui.